Welcome to Cutting to the Bud in the Post-Truth Apocalypse. I'm Ben. I'm joined by Gaz.
Hello.
Mike's not here.
Where's Mike?
We don't know where Mike is. We're in his flat, but we have no idea where he is.
We'll leave it for you to decide. Why are me and Ben in Mike's flat doing a podcast when Mike's not here? Did we kill him?
Is he in the bath?
Is he rotting away in the bath? Who knows?
Well, no, he'd be in several pieces in the bath.
Oh, well, yeah. Tune in next week to find out.
To see if he's back. Today is...
R.I.P. Mike.
R.I.P. Mike. Maybe. We ain't telling.
That would be stupid.
Yeah, not idiots. So today is an emergency broadcast.
It's an emergency.
Because it's an emergency. We've changed the bulb and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be mainly about the Storm Area 51, the news we broke to you last week. Yes, we know it's a joke, but it might not be. US military aren't taking it as a joke.
It's starting to annoy me a little bit now.
Yeah.
It's annoying me because it's a bit like my first conspiracy, isn't it? You got all these people posting about Area 51, and like, because the second part, you'll see what my ramble is about. So we're going to touch on Area 51. We're also going to touch on today the whole...
Don't say touch on.
We're going to discuss...
Yes.
Jeffrey Epstein. So...
I think the two are connected.
Yes, well, some people think... Because that's my initial gripe, is it's annoying me. All the people that don't normally talk about conspiracies are all posting their Area 51 memes. And you're like, fucking hell. Some dude who's connected to, like, lots of presidents has been charged for trafficking and supplying and pedoing on all levels.
On an island, a private island.
That we've all heard, well, not all of us, but if you're in the conspiracy world, you've heard rumours of the Lolita Express and all that. That's real. It's not like, what if?
We'll get to it in a bit.
But instead, everyone's talking about how they're going to storm Area 51. No one's going to storm Area 51.
No.
Is my personal opinion.
Well,
would you pass me ashtray? Sorry.
We'll speak about it.
So that's coming up.
Yeah, that's coming up. That's our emergency broadcast. Let's have the top cities for the last few days. San Jose, California. Malayag in the United Kingdom. I've never even heard of that place.
Never
Well done
heard.
if you live there. London. Königs Wusterhausen in Germany. Ashburn, I assume that's Virginia. Mike knows. That's the thing. That's really, Mike's not here. I don't know any of the states' abbreviations.
All right. I'll have a guess. MO.
Porterville. Missouri.
Missouri.
Yeah. Little Rock. AR.
Arkansas.
Benton, Arkansas. Flint, Michigan, I know because they're always there. And Bentonville. We're big in Arkansas, man.
We're very big in Arkansas. It's that pretty mouth you got.
Well, probably. I don't like to brag. So we'll do Weird News live on Facebook. Hello, again.
Hi.
When we'll go on to the main thrust of today's topic.
Let's get the boys' views on this week's Weird News.
First one, I'll take it. Man arrested trying to smuggle drugs into Spain under his wig.
Wow.
And there's a picture of the man with his wig on, and it's not a very good disguise. This is from the Evening Standard, if you want to go and check it out. A man was arrested after being stopped by police during an attempt to smuggle 0.5 kilo of cocaine into Spain by hiding it underneath an oversized toupee.
Yeah. That's a lot of cocaine.
0.5 kilo, yeah. I mean, it might be an oversized... I mean, unless he's going to start wearing an Amy Winehouse beehive wig, he's not smuggling that under that wig he's got on there. If it's a woman with a beehive, I ain't stopping her.
No.
It's a man with a suspicious lump on his head and his toupee 6 inches off the top of his forehead, then I'm going to assume he's smuggling drugs.
Did he just think that, like, the security are going to be too polite to it? You'd never ask a man what's under his toupee.
As a bald man, I despise toupees.
Yeah, it's...
Just
Accept
be
it.
proud in your baldness, man.
Yeah, be loud and proud.
Yeah. Sun's out, head's out.
Got no choice.
Sun's in,
Well,
head's out.
Can you imagine being whichever cartel was in charge of, you sent this geezer, Uncle Joseph, he'll be alright, he'll do it. And he's an older guy, he's trustworthy, he's not going to raise suspicions, he'll be fine. He stuck it to his what? Yeah, he went through with it, stuck to the top of his head, Pablo.
And he's Colombian. He's coming from Colombia with a suspicious lump on his head.
He put half a kilo of cocaine on top of his head?
He loco.
Yes, yes he did. He is loco.
Spanish police said the man arrived in Barcelona on a flight from Bogota, Colombia, and attracted attention as he looked nervous and had a disproportionately large hairpiece under his hat. After stopping him, they found a package stuck to his head with about 30,000 euros, which is about £27,000 worth of cocaine.
Wow.
A police statement said, "There is no limit to the inventiveness of drug traffickers trying to mock controls." That's not
inventive, that's stupid. That's really stupid. Inventive is like, I don't know, constructing a fake anal tract.
Yeah, having some kind of surgery to make a pocket inside your skin. That is inventive.
A flesh pocket.
Flesh pocket.
I got your
inventive.
drugs. Ooh, keep them.
Don't fly in from Colombia. I don't know. Fly from Colombia to somewhere else, like North Africa maybe, and then fly on from there.
Oh man.
You got to cover your tracks.
Yeah, you have to. He did not try hard enough.
I think it's a C+, must try harder.
Yeah, you know, I'm not the world's leading expert on the smuggling of cocaine.
No, not me.
But I reckon I could come up with a better plan than strapping it literally to the top of my head and then placing some very fake looking hair on top of
You
it.
could hide it in your man bun.
It's just my very big wig, officer. No, it's not, is it?
You could have it with your long hair in the nape of your neck and your hair tied over it.
I'd be scared to hide even a pill. Like, just a single pill in my hair, let alone sticking a fucking half kilo of cocaine on me bunts. And then he had to stand there for the photos with a straight face.
Straight face and wig on in one, wig off on the other. The cocaine still strapped to his head.
Oh, man. Well,
It's pretty double-sided tape, isn't it?
yeah, he deserves all that's coming to him.
I think so.
Oh, speaking of prisons, did you hear? I mean, I don't know the validity of this, but I did read a news story today that apparently somebody's already put Tommy Robinson on his arse.
I heard that,
in the
yeah.
showers.
I heard it and then I chuckled to myself.
Yes, me too.
Because apparently he was a 70-year-old.
Yeah, a big hard 7-year-old knocked him on his ass. Long may it continue.
Yeah.
You got 9 more years of it, mate.
I
Whee!
think he's only in for a few months, isn't he?
Isn't it 9 years he got?
Nah.
9 months. Oh, 9 months, that was it.
9
sorry.
months, he'll probably be
He'll
out
do
two
3.
Two or 3, yeah.
But still, a lot can happen in.
Well, that's true.
It's going to be a long 2 months, Tommy.
Oh, yeah. Because
Free
apparently he's
Tommy.
walked in there thinking he's a big I am and he's a celebrity and he's trying to boss people about and the 70-year-old just decked him.
I'm surprised he's not live streaming from the showers.
I don't think he's got a mobile phone. I
Good.
have no idea.
Fuck
I don't
it.
know how it works in prison, I've never been.
No, hopefully we never will.
No, very true. That prison food would really... No, I can be doing with that. Don't mind
The
drink.
food is the least of my concerns,
Well,
Ben.
I was trying to overlook the horrifying threat of anal rape.
Not even that, just the existential nightmare of being locked in a box with other fucking
Plenty of
lunatics.
drugs.
Well, yeah, that is the one. What do you have to do to get those
Well,
drugs?
that's it, innit? Yeah. Yeah.
We all love a smoke, but I mean, how
How
much
much?
do you love a smoke?
Not that much. Not that much.
That reminds me, like, I could do this because we're visual now, but like, the main difference between, like, well, there's lots of differences, but one of the major differences between sort of amateur porn and professional porn is the cum shots.
Right.
Because in professional porn, it's like, yeah, give it to me. Oh, it's the greatest thing that's ever happened. Oh, yeah. And in amateur porns, it's like, oh, Darren! Oh, there's fucking loads!
It's in my eyes.
Oh, I'm still going. Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry. Back to the news.
Back to this. Well, funnily enough, that does lead us on to the next piece of news, in a way. This is from The Independent. Do you want to take this one?
Okay.
I saw this and thought,
It's me!
I saw this and thought, this is either like some kind of pervert or a new superhero that's really low budget.
Okay. So,
Possibly both.
yes. Well, I did see this story, or it could also be a man with a very dark sense of humour.
That's also true.
So, man in gimp suit terrorises rural village. Quote, he was touching his groin, grunting and breathing heavily. A man said to be terrorising a quiet Somerset village while dressed in a gimp suit is being hunted by police. The rubber-clad assailant, described by one victim as touching his groin, grunting and breathing heavily, has jumped out at several men and women late at night over a number of weeks in Claverham. He has caused such alarm that after the latest incident at 11:30 p.m. on Thursday, officers launched a helicopter and a sniffer dog search. Imagine being the man in the gimp suit cowering in a bush somewhere, hearing the helicopter.
Do you think that rubber would keep in your body? So you're not sure on the thermal count?
Oh, wow.
I don't know how that'll work.
Well,
Maybe
you don't see many robbers in gimp suits.
Or maybe they're missing a trick.
That's what I mean. Maybe they're too embarrassed, but fuck. So, one woman who managed to take a picture of the man on her phone said the ordeal has left her afraid to leave home. She told the BBC, I don't want to go out. It's not just a man jumping out at me going boo. Every time I close my eyes, I just see that face.
What face? He's wearing a gimp mask.
I guess it was like, ooh, ooh. Did he have a ball gag on?
Well, it's another question, isn't it? Apparently, so you get a picture on a phone. No, they're not going to show us the picture. It's terrible.
Describing the incident, the woman, who asked not to be named, but is in her 20s, said, I was walking along with my torch, and I looked up to see someone charging at me in full black rubbery suit and managed to take a picture. He kept coming towards me and was touching his groin, grunting and breathing heavy. As I tried to take a step back, he was right in front of my face, and he put his leg forward. I was just trying to assess the situation in my head quickly. Everything was running through my head. I thought, this is it. I'm going to get attacked. She added that the man had run away when she started to scream. A spokesperson with Avon and Somerset Police said that they had received other reports of a similar nature.
Hang on, to the side of this, there's a follow-up article where the Gimp Man of Essex gives an interview. He's a
but that's Essex though. That's the other side of the country.
Oh, where
so
was this?
There's more. That was Somerset, the other one.
Man.
So there's
Maybe
more
the
than
same
one
dude.
Gimp Man. But this guy is raising money, it says.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't like to slander the Gimp Man of Essex. I don't know if he was guilty of the incidents in
Could be the
Somerset.
same dude, we don't know
I
that.
mean, just because he's got a gimp suit doesn't mean he doesn't drive.
He can get public transport, he just puts a gimp suit in a bag.
Now, all giggles aside, you know, a man in a gimp suit jumping out at you is terrifying. If you're a woman, it's even fucking worse. Although, you should have looked and clocked. Was it all? You know,
I think it was all. Yeah.
If he was encased, then you might have been safe in that respect. But still, utterly terrifying. Anybody all in black jumps out at me at anything, I'm going to be pretty scarred for life. Yeah, I think, you know. And if somebody does end up beating him to death, this is all probably just jolly japes for him.
Maybe his dominatrix is telling him to do it.
Yeah, something along those lines.
Some kind of abusive DS
Or
relationship.
he's going home and wanking himself furiously over the terrified...
That also could be it.
The thought of terrifying young women. But they'll get him. Somebody will catch him somehow, some way.
Well, I've got a really simple way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You just go around all the sex shops and ask who's bought a gimp suit in the last 10 years.
That's true, but...
Or you contact, you look at people's credit card receipts, things like that.
You might have bought it online, but I suppose you could ask Amazon,
Who's bought a gimp suit?
who in this area has bought this kind of product.
Yeah.
Why couldn't they find the fucker with the fucking helicopter? He must be very local. He must literally run back into a house. It's probably the bloke who serves her in the local spa shop or something. It might be a fucking Uncle Jeff. It's a little village. She probably knows her assailant. If you're the man out there in a gimp suit, stop it. Do something useful. Why don't you, instead of terrifying young girls, why don't you sneak up on groups of chavs congregating in public areas? Scare them.
Yeah.
That would be a community service.
Put a cape on, become a superhero, Gimp Man.
And what's your superpower? Oh, I take it like nobody else. Oh, you've never seen anybody take it the way I take
It's
it.
like Mr. Slave from South Park. I can fit a nuclear weapon inside my anus.
Well,
and contain the blast.
good to know, Gimp, man. Good to know. Were you
He's gonna
bit
be
by
the-
a radioactive Gimp?
In 20 years' time, he's going to be on the Avengers and they reboot it.
Well, they're looking for new people.
Captain America has been redone as a gimp.
Do you know there is a Captain America style Gimp suit out there?
That does not surprise me.
I know there is, without even Googling it. Of course it exists. I own it.
Was it custom or did you buy it?
I bought it. So, next news story?
Yeah, next one. Flushing drugs down the toilet could create meth gators, US police warn. Police in the US have warned flushing drugs down the toilet could create meth gators. Loretto Police Department made the tongue-in-cheek comment after catching a suspected drug dealer attempting to get rid of methamphetamine in his lavatory. After entering Loretto, Tennessee on Saturday, officers found the man flushing away 12 grams of meth and several items of drug paraphernalia. Mike, just in case you are watching, your mouse is terrible. I think you are. I can see a Mike Martin coming up on the phone. I think he's watching, so maybe he's not dead.
Hey, Mike.
Hello. The suspect was charged with drug possession with intent for resale, possession of drug paraphernalia and tampering with the evidence. Police jokingly warn his actions could end up creating meth gators, and that's all you need, isn't it? In a Facebook post, which has since been deleted, that's a shame.
Yeah.
I hate it when the police try and do something funny and then they get a stick and then, alright, then we'll delete it.
Yeah.
You know, report said, this folks, please don't flush your drugs, okay?
Okay.
When you send something down the sewer pipe, it ends up in our retention ponds for processing before it's sent downstream. Now, our sewer guys take great pride in releasing water that is cleaner than what is in the creek, but they're not really prepared for meth.
Meth gators. Can you imagine meth addicted, raging, jonesing for a fix gators?
Oh, man.
That is a fucking Sharknado style horror movie that needs to be fucking
I
made.
think we need to
Holy shit.
trademark us.
How do we fight them? Give them some meth?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, the thing is, they might be meth addicts, guys, but they'll have no teeth.
Yeah, but you still don't want one thrashing you about.
No,
do
I
you?
don't want like gripping me in its gummy mouth and doing the death roll underwater.
Giving you a good old gum job.
Give me a gummy. I don't want that. But if they got no teeth, I saw actually it was an article, but it wouldn't load on my phone. I could only see the headline. It was because it was an exclusively American media article. You know, sometimes you can't load them up. And some alligator was swimming around with a knife sticking out of its head.
Wow, absolute
This
badass.
massive kitchen knife just sticking out of the front of this crocodile's head, and it's like the gator's head, and it's like, wow.
Didn't kill it.
No.
Awesome.
But what did that gator do?
Yeah, to be
get
fair though, they've got brains like fucking walnut
I
sized,
thought
don't
they were
they?
decent. I don't know. Anyone knows how big an alligator's brain is? Please let me know because I can't Google it right now.
I'm guessing walnut.
I don't know, man. They're lizards. Lizards got quite a big brain.
Nah, because I think they've got small little, like, because they've got no emotional function, have they? And
No, they're very cold. Check out reptilians.
yeah. Oh well, still, don't give alligators meth. Don't take meth. Don't give yourself meth. Don't give humans meth.
It's not just the alligators, it's the ducks and the geese.
Oh no.
Yeah, well, imagine a meth duck goose. I'd rather fight a meth duck alligator than a meth duck goose.
I think they'll be alright when they're actually on the meth. I think it's when it wears off and they want to fix. Find out.
Anyway, that's the end of the weird news anyway, so it's kind of...
Yeah, it's a good end.
Yeah.
Security's coming.
Security's coming. I hope that's not the police.
We flushed it.
Let's get on with the emergency broadcast.
Should we just mention that Mike has magically appeared?
Mike is here now.
back.
He's not dead in the bath.
And
He
acid
is
bath.
I like how you planned your own murder.
So
It's got a harder person to
could
carry
you
it out now.
pass us the headphones, sorry. Mike's back. So
Mike's
what are we
back.
doing?
We're going to talk about the Area 51 raid. Now, yeah, we know it's a joke. It started as one. But now you've got like 2 million people. So, you know what Facebook fucking groups are like? The amount of people that say they're going to show up.
Yeah.
As opposed to actually do. Well, let's say this. Let's be conservative. Not too Tory, though. 2 million people at least have said they're going to go.
Right.
Right?
So if only 5% show up,
Yeah,
that's 100,000.
exactly. What if
my maths is right?
What if we're even lower? What if it's 5,000? What if it's 500?
I think there's potential for literally it being a handful of people, a couple of hundred people who actually make it out there. Because you've got to think, this is where some research may have helped, but I imagine to get out there in the middle of nowhere to the Nevada desert, it's got to be the nearest sort of local airport. Like
Vegas, probably.
How? What I'm saying is like how many hotels is there? How many? Do you know what I mean?
There's nothing.
Exactly. So people surely before spending their money would have maybe looked at before I book a fucking flight to Arizona. Can I stay anywhere near there? No.
Well, they can camp, can't you? You can desert. They just camp in the desert.
The thing is, I listened to. I read an article by the sheriff of that area. There's 3 towns. Rachel is the one we all know. That's where all the UFO stuff is. Basically, he said there's like 3 shops to support a population of 500 or 600 for a week, basically.
Okay.
So if 100,000 people show up, bring your own water, is what he said, because there ain't going to be enough water in them shops.
Shit, yeah.
So what we do, and I've thought about this, we go, we
sell bottled water.
And sell bottled water.
Yeah.
Did you know?
$10 a bottle.
Yeah.
That's
capitalism.
That's capitalism for you.
Do you know who made the most money in the gold rush?
No.
It sure as fuck wasn't the people looking for gold. It was the people who set up general stores.
That's true. Yeah,
in the
of course.
area and just
makes sense.
Sold supplies to all these hundreds of thousands of fools. Not fools. I understand why they were doing it, but fool's gold. So yeah, it could be a similar thing. We set up some water stands.
Yeah, $10 a bottle, because if you go into dehydration, you're gonna pay it.
We might need weapons in case it gets rowdy, because if
we're
people,
in America, it'll be fine.
No, but if people are getting like, if they're literally on the verge of death, and we're like, it's $35, motherfucker. No money, no water.
There's a queue of a couple of thousand people. They're just going to storm us, aren't they?
Yeah. So storm the water van that comes out of the
Fuck Area 51, yes, storm the vendor. So we might need electric batons, something like that. Machine guns.
No, we'll just hire some guards.
From Area 51.
Blackwater.
Blackwater.
Did you see the clip of the 2 guys on bikes? They were riding around out there on the perimeter, and a white, it's not an SUV, it's a pickup truck, a white, but a brand new, decent looking one, with 2 guys in camo inside. The truck drives past them once, and they're like, oh my god, dude, oh shit. It sort of turns around, comes back to them, and things escalate very quickly. It's very quickly, hands in the motherfucking air, fucking turn around, fucking guns are out. They basically just ask them who they are.
Is the sun out as well?
Yeah. It is, it's the desert. It never goes away. And they're basically like, we're adventure travellers, we're adventure travellers.
Get the fuck out of here then,
and it's a really little fat Mexican dude.
What, the guy in the uniform?
In the uniform, yeah. I remember one of the comments was, I was surprised his banana fingers fit around the trigger. But yeah, basically get them to turn around, hands in the air. They do the whole kick your legs apart, letting your nose bust. Asked him who they were. We're adventure travellers. And he's like, today's your lucky day. You're just going to get back on your bikes and you're going to fuck off.
That's fair enough.
Or you come with us. And they get back on the bikes, they drive off a bit, and they're like serious, nervous, laughing, giggling, do you know what I mean? Like, holy fuck, oh my god. But yeah, and I was reading the comments, and I don't know the validity of this, but somebody in the comments was saying that they're sort of nondescript army uniforms. They're not like standard issue, or they're not of any particular
branch.
They're just kind of generic.
And I'd imagine that all the US military's probably got the same camouflage schemes, because you wouldn't have a separate one for the air. But what you'd have is some identification.
That's what I think he was
US
saying.
Army,
he couldn't
badges, unit badges, things like
that's
that.
That's what I mean. This guy in the comments again. He just could have been anybody, but he was saying he couldn't identify. That's what I mean. Are they going to have the same? Is it its own separate? And why are they in a white fucking pickup truck? Why is it not a military vehicle?
Why not a Humvee?
Yeah.
Everyone loves a Humvee.
It's just a plain white fucking truck. So my point is, and some guy was shot recently, wasn't he, earlier in the year?
Yeah.
Is that this? Okay, so should we do this article then? And then I'll give you what I'm thinking.
So a man was shot dead in January after trying to enter Area 51, the top secret desert military base in the US, a document from the Nevada National Security Site reveals. That's the NNSS. A press release from the NNSS explained that a man had refused to stop at the security gate and drove around 8 miles while in pursuit.
That's not the right thing to do.
When he eventually stopped, he approached security officials with a cylindrical object in his hand. The press release said, at 5:18 p.m. PST, an unidentified male failed to stop at the Nevada National Security Site security gate at Mercury, Nevada. Both NNSS Security Protective Force officers, or SPOs, and Nye County's Sheriff's Office took up pursuit. After driving approximately 8 miles past the security gate, the individual came to a stop, exited his car, and approached the SPOs and NSCO with a cylindrical object in hand. Well, that's probably why they shot him.
Yeah.
In all fairness.
He's got an object!
He's got a it could be a bomb, it could be a grenade, it could be a pipe bomb, you've no idea.
Could be, couldn't it?
You know? He was when the suspect approached officers, he was fired upon by them, and the suspect died at the scene. Or did he? Was he taken off into the base and experimented on? Has he now got fish arms? Who knows?
He's got the Ganesh particle.
Yeah. It's Dr. fucking Manhattan now. Yeah, so encouraging the masses to meet up at the mysterious US military site to find out what's going on in there probably isn't such a great idea.
No.
But this is written tongue-in-cheek. I mean, we're going to Naruto run. Now, I'd never heard of that until, I'm not an anime lover.
No.
Yeah, I don't get this reference.
Basically, it's a thing they do in anime
right.
where they put their heads down, they bend forward, their arms go back, and they run.
Okay.
Now, they're saying that like tongue-in-cheek, but I know I've met enough anime nerds and seen enough memes on the internet of fat men in trilbies wielding swords to know some people think that shit's real.
They do that in the Ninja Turtles.
Do they?
Yeah, in the new one, like Leo. I see where it comes from now. It's a reference to, he will literally drop swords back like that. The background goes all like blurry and purple or something. He'd be like...
But this has got to be encouraging for the people wanting to storm it. This one guy got 8 miles in on his own.
Yeah.
Yeah, they died.
He died.
He died as he approached them with a something in his hand.
I imagine.
You know, that could have been, for all you know, he's going to detonate a suicide vest. You don't know that.
So he got.
I imagine a fleet of 1,000 fucking.
Yeah, but hang on.
Humvees.
So he got 8 miles past the security gate. I would hazard a guess that I don't know how many miles. Maybe it's 20. Maybe it's 30. But coming from the other direction, he would have been met with more than 2 geezers and a clipboard. And like, you don't have a pass, sir.
I wonder if it's like Independence Day where he goes, you want my authority? Alien in the back. Pulls the parachute back, unconscious alien. Let him past. Yeah.
Let it through.
So imagine 1,000 cars come from all directions.
Yeah.
No, they're running in.
So my second point would be...
Well, these Naruto runners...
They've got to get out there somehow. They're not going to walk out there. Yeah. But this is the thing. This is a joke, right? But it's so on the radar. This has to be on the security services radar.
Yeah, the US
there's been meetings. There's been meetings about this. They've sat down and they're like, look, likely what are we talking here? 1,000 people, 500 people, whatever. Who's going to turn up? What do we do? They'll have something in place. There's going to be more than the 2 guys on the clipboard.
Yeah.
Sitting at the post on that day.
Well, no, what they'll do is they'll let them get so far in, and they'll just ambush them. They'll wheel up that brown note transmitter onto the top of a hill and just make everyone instantly shit themselves within 30 seconds. Yeah. No one's walking in after that.
I think. Alright, this might be slightly conspicuous.
So we can also sell
just wear nappies then.
Well, they're going to have to, aren't they?
Yeah.
But even so, that stuff's going to leak out.
A bit of leakage.
It's going to slightly soil, excuse the pun, the experience of discovering alien life though.
Yeah, imagine meeting alien life and you're in a shitty nappy. Right, Billy, what is that nappy?
Take me to your toilet.
Yeah, please. I hope you've got a changing table. I need talc stat.
If you're the CIA, I mean, everyone's joking about all the alien weapons they're going to use and just mowing down fields of orange-fingered, cheesy, puff-eating video game nerds.
It's going to be interesting.
But if you're the CIA or the army or whoever, the very top, you're that powerful. Surely it's a much easier. You just make sure nobody gets like those airports aren't running.
Yeah.
things like that. Just, you know what I mean? You can make
Stop
sure...
all transport coming that way.
You could just logistically stop people from getting there before you've got to dish out the laser cannons and things. And I think if anybody actually does get there, I think they'll just be rounded up. They'll be swarmed and rounded up.
My theory is that if it's US military personnel, they probably won't shoot. It'll be non-lethal.
Rubber bullets,
Rubber
maybe.
bullets, brown
Water
note
cannons.
stuff, water cannons.
Yeah.
Because
Water cannon gas.
Zip
and
ties.
because they, and also remember, they're not going to want to shoot because they don't know if they've got family in that crowd.
Well,
You know,
plus
they're
it
all in
just
that
doesn't
same
look
boat.
very good for you.
And it doesn't look good if you just mown down 1,000 civilians
Yeah.
with a 50 cal. It doesn't look great.
No.
But if it's, then what I thought, yeah, that makes sense. But then I thought, what if it's private security contractors? What if it's Blackwater or something like that? They don't give
They're
a
just going
fuck.
to fire. They're going to be terrified, inexperienced, and start firing out of panic. But I've just had a thought. What if? Because I was thinking, take all the conspiracy alien stuff out of it, and like, just what if like a couple of million or a couple of thousand people tried storming just a normal military base in their own country? It probably wouldn't go well, would it? But imagine if. So imagine. How many did you say 5% was?
100,000.
Well, imagine 50,000 turn up, and they storm it, and the soldiers and everybody just stand aside.
Yeah.
Go for it, we're not fighting anybody, and they run in there, and it's just
Empty.
planes, just normal shit, just normal stuff. Doesn't that just kill like an entire conspiracy industry and like?
But they could have
Bombers
moved
are-
it. They'll say they
Oh,
moved
yeah,
it, but
that's
they'll go,
what-
oh, they
well,
moved it.
Well, this brings us on to the other point.
Yeah, they let you in, there's nothing
Yeah.
in there. You
What's
can go home now.
Yeah,
Secretly they moved it.
yeah, and then the
What?
floor rotates.
Yeah, someone pulls a lever and a thing runs and there's a grey probing somebody frantically.
I
Fish
did-
arm bloke.
I did read in Mr. Ike's book that some people can actually shapeshift on a molecular level, and some people are just using hologram technology to, rather than shapeshift, they're just projecting a human
Ah, right.
with hologram tech. So if they've got that level of like augmented reality hologram, they could just make it look like an empty handle,
Yeah.
couldn't it? But there could be loads of aliens at the side going mad, but you could just see a grey wall.
All holding glowing probing rods.
Well, yes. I don't know why would the aliens have them? We'd have confiscated them, surely.
Well, you never know.
You stop trying to stick that up my arse, you weird green little prick. We're probing you.
Yeah. And
What's
also,
the
they've got, it's 20th of September.
Oh shit, there's ages
So,
to wait.
what they've done, right, when you attack somebody, what's the best thing to do? What's the best sort of thing you have?
Element of
The
surprise.
element of surprise. Well, there goes your element of surprise immediately because you just posted it on Facebook, which even I'm sure the most dull CIA officer can look at. And also, they've been putting plans of attack on there.
Yeah. This might sound a bit draconian and a bit Judge
Do you think they'll
Dredd.
stop them at the airport?
Well, that's what I was saying earlier. Or I've just thought, this might, like I said, be a bit Judge Dredd, but just fucking arrest every single person that's clicked going in that Facebook group. You've just publicly stated your intention to commit a crime against a security protected national security, whatever it was called, right? And you've clicked, oh, I'm going, I'll jump the fence, I'll rush the guards, oh, fuck you. I hope you wake up one morning face down in the living room carpet with your mum screaming, what's happened, Billy? Right? And your dad said, I fucking knew something like this would happen one day. You're never off that fucking computer.
He's got a black bag over his head.
Yeah, a black
and
bag
zip
on your
ties.
head.
They call him a
Disappeared.
terrorist, and then he's got no rights then.
Yeah.
Off to fucking Guantanamo Bay.
This could be a snare.
Yeah.
They could literally be
They
like,
could have started
how many
it.
morons will publicly admit to...
They could have
winning-
started it.
Exactly, that's
Could
what
be
I
a
mean.
psyop.
Let's see how many morons we can get to admit that they, publicly, that they were happy to commit an act of terrorism on their own soil, against their own people. Boom, we got 2 million of them. Shit, we were expecting a couple 100,000.
Oh, wow, we're going to get some more guys in
2
those.
million. You haven't quit going, have you?
No.
I'm surprised. I'm generally surprised, Ben.
I looked interested.
I thought you...
No, you know what? I haven't even visited the page.
Good on you. I thought you would be offering up like, I'll lead you. Just follow me. What's the plan, Ben?
Do you know why?
Why?
Because these people think you can run faster than bullets, which you can't.
No.
There's a front line of what they call Kyles, who are sort of your muscular redneck types.
Okay.
And they've told them, the guys who kick through drywall for a hobby.
Right.
They said, well, we're going to tell them that every guy in camouflage is their dad. Or could be their dad. And then they're going to have people throwing pebbles.
Pebbles?
Pebbles. They don't want to annoy them enough to shoot, just to make them go away. right?
And the army are going to throw pebbles.
No, the people behind the muscular chavs.
Yeah, they're going to throw pebbles. That's really stupid. Have you ever heard the saying, like, don't throw rocks at a man holding a machine gun? I believe it was Rowdy Roddy Piper who said that. Don't throw rocks at a man holding a machine gun.
That's in my Jack Nicholson's Joker.
That's Roddy Piper. That's the point, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Literally, that's the quote. Don't throw pebbles at Area 51 guards. Dunk. It was just a pebble, I didn't want to annoy you too much. Fuck you.
No,
They're all fools and they all deserve everything that's coming to them.
And also, I'm not flying all the way to fucking Nevada. I just watched the live stream they're going to do.
Oh yeah, because all 200,000 of them will be on their channel.
Yeah.
They're like, oh my god, we're going in!
Of course they will. Someone will be streaming it. It'll be fine.
There'll be a lot of deaths on Facebook that day.
And besides, I'll be doing what a general does. I'll be sat on the hill drinking up a cup of tea, watching my troops go forward. I'll be leading them from the front. They've got machine guns. I haven't.
Oh, it's going to end in tears, isn't it?
Give me a laser gun, I'm going. Don't give me one, I ain't interested. But I am going to shit post the hell out of those memes on the day, on the page. I apologise in advance.
Why is it so far away? I hope it all dies down by then.
Well, I've got a theory.
What's
I spoke
your
to you briefly about why this has all of a sudden come to the fore, but we'll get on to that.
Well, it links
Yeah,
into our second
Links
subject.
into our second
It's a
part.
distraction.
Yeah. We've just got a Bob Lazar's telling people not to attack it as well.
You don't want to find out he's full of shit.
You know that charismatic individual Bob Lazar. Still haven't got through that fucking podcast with Joe Rogan. I can't do it.
I'm having a migraine.
I can't do it. I can't listen to that man. I've even tried to watch the documentary on Netflix. I can't listen to him.
It's right up your alley, all this
I
stuff,
know. It annoys me, Gaz. It annoys me on a cellular level.
Yeah.
But I cannot listen to that man.
We can't all be showmen, can we? You know, like, he's not a trained medium.
You've been working on top secret alien technology, right? You've lived at a top secret base. You're 1% of the 1% of the 1% of scientists in that country. At least have something about you miserable, boring twat.
He's a scientist, what do you expect?
Well, have some
Didn't he fit a security alarm in a security club? Isn't he? Like
No, he was doing a security camera in a strip club.
Oh, that's it. Yeah. So he's this
Which
1% of the 1% he installs security cameras. I'm pretty sure I could do that.
If I was a strip club owner, I would want Bob Lazar fitting that stuff because he's not going to try it on with any of the girls, is he? He's not going to sexually harass them.
Why?
He's the most boring man on the planet.
Why was he putting cameras in the strip club then?
Oh, security purposes, I assume. Or perverts. Maybe he's a pervert.
You'd think he could have got a better, a job in like a laboratory somewhere.
I think his company does actually fix Geiger counters now.
Okay.
I assume that's fairly technical.
I mean, it's more technical than anything I'm capable of.
Exactly. But then again, maybe it's just
But
3
that's
weeks
not
training.
saying
And
much, Ben.
it's 3 weeks training and off you go. Who knows?
Yeah.
So Bob Lazar says it's a bad idea.
Why does he think it's a bad idea?
He's made the following comments via Instagram. So you scroll down a bit, please, Mike.
Yeah, when the cat gets out the way.
Good hell, Chester. I'm sure he's determined to sabotage things. I have to comment on this Storm Area 51 thing. I do understand it was started as a joke by someone, but there are a number of people who are actually planning on showing up. This is a misguided idea. Area 51 is a classified research base. There are no aliens or alien technology located there. The only place there was ever any alien technology was at Site S4, south of Area 51 proper. Well, what Bobby and his genius is forgetting that they're not just going to sort of stop at Area 51, or they might branch off and go and find S4.
Yeah.
Not the most interesting man on the planet. Yeah, so that was 30 years ago. S4 may have moved decades ago, or it's possible it's no longer being used.
That's what I said. They could have been moved.
Well, if you believe all these dumb theories, the deep underground military bases, they've all got these massive hyper rail links going between them, where the trains are maglift and it takes minutes to get from one side of the country to the other. So all they just herd the greys into a carriage. No pissing up the walls, you little bastards. Oh, you creepy sexist men.
But they're still.
Oh yeah, they'd be in third class. The tall whites would be in second.
Yeah.
The reptilians in first, wouldn't they?
They're still defending it though. Like I said, I watched 2 videos of those guards turning people away. pretty quick.
Well, they'd have to turn people away. That's their job. You can't just be sat there in the desert getting high. Oh, look at them people wandering past the gate.
No, but you know what I mean? Like, they're still... It might be empty, they might have moved it all, but it's still daft to go there because it's still a military base that's still being... still being protected.
If nothing else, like we said in the podcast about Area 51, nothing else. There's no alien, nothing like that. They tested some top secret stuff there.
Yeah.
It's the next generation of American military aircraft, and they don't want you going in there. For all you know, for all they know, you're a commie and a spy. Who knows? I mean, it's a daft idea.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly, and I can't wait. I hope 200 million fucking video game nerds turn up, and they all get mowed down, and I will laugh heartily.
I hope they all get... I want to see the brown nose in action. That is my thing. I really want to see it.
Or even just a bit of pepper spray and then watching them cry and regret their life choices as they're zip tied together.
I mean,
thrown into the back of
I'm
a van.
assuming most of them are millennials.
Probably.
You know, I just don't think they got it in them.
Exactly, it'd be hilarious. No, they'll start the charge then as soon as a few pepper spray and rubber bullet. It's our worst nightmares come true.
Please go with paintball guns.
You know...
Or they just tell them that, you know, they start calling them by the opposite gender and they'll all break down and cry.
Just misgender them.
Yeah. You there, girl.
Excuse
I'm
me,
a
sir.
boy. No, you're not.
Ma'am, get down from there. I'm cisgender. No, you know in like really peaceful protests when like the police get overhanded and violent.
Yeah.
The looks of confusion and terror on the faces of the peaceful people. Like we never in our worst thoughts thought this could happen. This is not what we want. Those are the faces you're going to see. At Area 51 when this gets physical and nasty, because there's no way you can't just let them do it, can you?
No, you can't.
The American government simply cannot allow this to happen. What do these people think? And even if only 20 people turn up and they're like, where the fuck is everybody?
I think
let's say 100,000 do, and they do storm it.
Well, it's going to be
it
a
is
massacre
successful,
then, isn't it?
Well, alright then, that's great. So what we take from that is if we all band together, we can bring these bastards down.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking.
So next up, where we go? In the Vatican, they can't rape us all.
There you go. They've only got how many Swiss Guard they got?
150, 200, something
A
like
piece of
that.
piss.
A few Vatican police.
You can storm Area
$100,000.
51. Vatican's a piece
The
of
survivors can go into Area 50 and go to the Vatican. They'll be battle hardened. They'll be experts at throwing pebbles and running really quickly.
Oh, it's really weird in computer games. It just goes wherever I want it to. And that didn't go anywhere near that guy. Yeah, good on him. All I say is pack extra cheesy puffs and
water
and Coca-Cola. Yeah, you'll be fine. Go, guys. Woo! Fight the power.
We're behind you.
Yeah. Woo.
2,000 miles behind you.
The best place to be, like you said, watching your live stream from the comfort of our living rooms.
I might have a beer.
That might be the day I start drinking again.
Yeah, you know what, let's do that.
Yeah. 20th of September, it's set. I'll book it off work. It'll be more fun than WrestleMania, man. It's going to be amazing.
Sorry, go on. Oh.
You know that video of that comedian, the Area 51 guard?
Oh, yeah.
Just Google at home, Area 51 guard, and you should find it. He said, like, I can't remember the name, but the guy was 4 arms or 6 arms from the end of Mortal Kombat.
Oh yeah, I don't know what his name is.
Guru or something like that. And he's like, wait till these motherfuckers find out that they're real and we got thousands of them. He said they're just going to start ripping them open like candy wrappers. It's going to be so much fun to watch.
I want to see 2 conspiracies confirmed in one. I want them all to storm into Area 51.
Yeah.
And there's like some UFOs and then some men in black just materialise with some fucking laser guns.
Or the memory things.
Or the memory things and just blast everyone. No, you can't. They'd have to take them out and then they'd have to... No, would the memory thing go through the live stream?
Yeah, I was just thinking we'd be sat there and then we'd go, what are we watching?
Then there's some bloke in a black suit on the telly going, you didn't see anything? You've been sat there playing computer games the last hour.
Put the football back on.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we just don't ever mention it again. That's the way it works, isn't it?
Oh man, what is a deeper conspiracy where they get two teams to play together in secret. The result is never known by anyone apart from on that day. It's a pre-recorded match.
Ah.
Well, my money's still on the army. I'm sorry, internet nerds. As much as I'd love to see you get there, I don't believe you will.
I don't believe you can run faster than 50 cow rounds.
Prove me wrong, even if you
Prove us wrong, there you go.
Go
Prove us wrong.
Well, I think, does anybody else have any more thoughts on...
Also,
have we got any more articles?
I'm quite confident that a Kevlar helmet can take a pebble. I think it's just going to be like a bee buzzing around his head for a little bit.
I think it'll be interesting.
Well,
interesting to see what their response is.
Well, this is their response. They're standing ready.
There has to be a response. Like we said, they simply can't just allow it to happen. I think...
But they can't murder them all at the same time.
No.
I think more likely to nip it in the bud in logistical ways like closing airports, closing down transport, things like that. Just making sure nobody can get there. I think that's a more sort of super villainy CIA
Just close the roads
type of thing to do, yeah. Yeah,
then again, they can't stop them all. Two policemen blocking a road with a couple of thousand people coming down it.
Good point.
Or if you're the government, you have a word with Mr. Zuckerberg, who I'm sure you've got deals with anyway.
The burst of tyres, wouldn't they? They use them.
Well, you can get the names and addresses of every single person that's clicked going. You then investigate further. Who do we think's serious? Who is on any other lists? And then just narrow it down. And you could just physically stop those people, put those people under house arrest, or fucking in America actually arrest them and give them a life sentence, and they'll be making number plates for the rest of their life. But yeah, they can't let it happen. So it's going to be fun. Well, maybe not fun. Yeah. Interesting to find out, like you say. Yeah.
They stand ready. They said
they stand ready.
It's an open training range for the US Air Force, and we would discourage anyone from trying to come into the area where we train American armed forces. The US Air Force always stands ready to protect America and its assets.
Yeah. So what does it say there about it being a offence?
It's a federal offence, and they run the risk of getting jail time, a fine, and criminal record.
So, federal offence. That's like all states, like.
Yeah.
That's like a serious crime.
Absolutely, and you've done jail time, of course, as well.
Yeah.
So. I think the thing is, I mean, apparently though, they will have a bit of a festival at Rachel where they're all meeting up. The Alien 51 Centre tourist attraction. They're all going to have like a bit of a festival, and there's going to be food and some music, and then I suppose if they get drunk enough, they'll attack the base, and if they don't, they won't.
I like the quote there. I thought you were joking earlier, Ben, but you're not. This is one of the geezers planning it. We will all meet up at the Area 51 Alien Centre tourist attraction and coordinate our entry. If we Naruto run, we can move faster than their bullets. Let's see them aliens. I have a feeling I'm going to see your brains. What passes for them.
How long does it take for me to join the US Air Force and become a guard at Area 51? Because
Yeah, you fascist.
No, Mike, I just want to shoot one of these Naruto runners in the leg.
I want to watch him get shot. I don't want to shoot him. That's the difference between you and me.
No, I just want to prove to them that anime isn't real.
What, by killing them?
No, just give him a leg wound.
That'll teach you.
And that's anything really large caliber that'll blow his leg off, he might bleed out.
Yeah.
It's a risk, it's a life lesson.
Well,
it's a life lesson.
He
goes, I was at the School of Hard Knocks, mate.
I have a feeling that Mother Nature's going to teach these guys a lesson before the army ever gets to. I think sunstroke, sunburn, being outside is going to really fuck with some of these guys.
I got sunburnt in fucking Wales. You know what I mean?
Oh my god, I hope there isn't a ginger brigade. All the gingers banding together to form one unstoppable block of orange coming at them.
Deploy the umbrellas.
Oh, do you think they form up in like that Roman formation where they put it over their heads and the guys, the tortoise? All the gingers with their umbrellas forming up.
Well, they're protected from the sun, and it's a sound military tactic. So you were laughing at the ginger brigade a minute ago. That might be our best chance.
They're the spear tip.
That means most of them are going to die though.
They got no souls anyway, so what's it matter?
Send them in first.
Send in the clouds.
You gotta paint their faces white too.
Most of these fuckers will be in cosplay.
Oh god,
They'll be cosplay.
Oh fuck yeah.
It's gonna suck to die dressed as Sonic the Hedgehog, you fucking prick.
Right,
aliens.
Can we have all the Captain Americas at the front, please? You got the shields. You go first. Hulks, you take up the rear.
Slave Leia? That is not acceptable in 2019. That is too problematic. You're not welcome.
You're at the back.
Yeah.
Put a towel around you.
Out of like their perverse like progressiveness, they're like, no, all the minorities have to be at the front, otherwise it's not fair.
Yeah, no white privilege here.
Like
You can see the
all the
aliens
people
first,
of colour
alright?
and women are just mowed down, and it's just white people left. Oh, the horror! And they didn't see any aliens.
Oh man.
Oh,
Their stance against white privilege just turned right on its head there, didn't it?
It doesn't work in battle situations.
It does not.
All minorities to the front. Fair is fair. We should not get to see the aliens first. Check your white privilege. Oh man. Good job I'm not in charge.
How would you coordinate an army of millennials though? That's an issue because your ranks would be non-existent. You couldn't call them, airman, air person.
No, I think like say group them into because they'll all be in cosplay, so you can sort of organise them that way. That'd be easier. Marvel characters, anime that I've never heard of.
Yeah, you go first.
Yeah. I don't know what you are. It's impressive, but I don't know what it is. You're at the front, followed by DC. Yeah. I'd be useless. I'd be a useless leader. I don't pretend that I would be a good leader of millennials or like people our age, or even like give me a platoon of like World War II vets in their prime, and I'd still lead them to their deaths in like, fucking calamity. So, I'm not saying I'd be any better than these guys, but I'm not foolish enough to kid myself into thinking I can just run into a military base because I've watched so many Japanese cartoons.
I also know how to use a samurai sword and I'm wearing a fedora. I also weigh 20 stone.
Yeah, good luck to him.
Yeah.
So, we got any more on this?
No, that's about it really. It's pretty much it.
We will learn more in a few months.
More, I just thought it was, because it's been such big news, I thought we should piggyback off its popularity.
Yeah, it's safe to say this has crossed over. This is fairly mainstream now. It's actually...
I like it. I like the idea.
I love the idea, yeah.
I hope no one gets hurt, obviously.
Oh, they
probably
will.
going to happen.
Oh, they will.
But, anyone signed up to power.
Can they stop the war? Let's say the 2 million people actually did show up.
Oh, you know what we're going to have to put up with, though, for the next couple of, decades, is people that claim to have broke through during the raid.
I snuck off in another direction.
Yeah, while everyone was being mowed down on the
While
left
everyone
side.
was mowed down like the Somme, I snuck off around the side.
On Black Tuesday, or whatever it's going to be known as in future. Yeah, we'll have to put up with people claiming that they made their way in there.
And I'm going to post loads of memes about it on the run up to it.
What happens to the people that do make it in there, like, then what?
Well, yeah, that's the thing. If they get there and there's nothing there, like, wow, there's like 10,000 bodies out there and there's nothing here.
Here's the other thing, let's say they make it the 16 odd miles from the gate to the building. These fucking nerds think they can kick through steel doors and stuff. Do they know the fucking security passcodes? They'll just be outside the building, 2 million of them.
Well,
You can push as hard as you can, you won't push a brick fucking structure down.
Considerably less than 2 million.
Well, yeah,
just
right.
burst through the defences.
There'll be 1,000 people banging on the doors. Let us in!
They can get the key cards of the bodies of the dead soldiers.
There won't be key card. It'll be way more advanced than that.
Retina scans?
Nah, that's old hat. When Area 51, it's a scrotum scan.
Well, you're going to have to take some scrotums in, aren't you? Wear one around your neck for the entire attack.
Saddle yourself
you
up
run,
to the
it's slapping you in the face. That's not a pleasant experience. Imagine Naruto running with a severed cock hanging around your neck. You get black eyes and a broken nose.
A cock necklace.
Well, you probably knock yourself unconscious.
All I'm saying is, get into the buildings and they haven't thought this through at all.
No.
Rush the gate, okay, job done. We know it's at least 8 miles, possibly double or triple that to the actual building then.
And then you've got to go.
Can these fucking guys walk 30 miles in the bathing hot?
300 people surround a few guards, say, let us in, and we're gonna kick you to death.
kick him to death. That's what you'd say. If you're inside Area 51, there's 300 people outside going, we'll fucking kick Steve to death. And you're like, sorry, Steve, you know the score, mate.
Yeah, you signed that dotted line.
You know the score. Ooh, that looks rough. Sorry, Steve.
I'll tell your family.
Yeah, I'll text your wife, Steve. God bless you.
I'll clear your internet history.
Yeah. America loves you, Steve. And then you just wait till they either get tired or...
Well, they'll swarm on you, but you're there in your nice little prepared defensive position by then with your machine gun set up and whatever else you've got.
Just wait for him to get bored and go home.
A strafing run of flying saucers coming down, laser firing lasers into the crowd.
Yeah. It'll be like Occupy Wall Street. It'll go on for a few months.
Then
they'll get bored and fuck off and nobody will mention it again and big business will continue unchanged.
Yep, that's what normally happens.
But we'll be alright because we made a fortune at selling them water.
Hey! Yes, it's $35. You came out here.
Yeah, you came out with any spare water, pal.
I got loads.
That much. You don't want them to storm us. That's what the price has gone up. We're running low.
Nah.
But always the last few bottles. Always at the sign on the front, last few bottles drive up the price. Consumer need.
$45.
We'll put $10 on it every hour.
And I'm going to open each one and spit in it before I hand it over. Just cause.
There'll be a limited supply, but we'll always stood there just drinking loads of water. Start it there, man.
Tipping it on our heads. Having a little water fight.
Super soakers.
Please. I dropped my wallet. Well, sucks for you.
Oh, alright. There you go.
I'll piss on his face. I'll piss on your face for a
I'm
tenner.
quite hydrated.
Golden showers a tenner.
I'll give you 20.
You're enjoying this is the third time you've been back. You're enjoying this too much.
You're enjoying it too much, yeah. Go find an alien, you fucking pervert.
50 quid for a Cleveland Steel.
How's that going to hydrate you? It's not.
Make me feel good.
I don't have enough water left to wash you off afterwards, but I don't care.
I'm going to the road and after and just blast off me.
It's diarrhea. There's a bit of liquid in it, innit?
Oh yes, I'm not going to argue that logic. You're going to be pretty desperate to drink it, aren't you? In fact, no, you wouldn't because it would just kill you anyway, wouldn't it?
I don't know. I
Yeah.
hope so.
I don't think you're supposed to eat. You're not supposed to eat feces. That's not
Oh,
good.
really?
Yeah.
Glad you told
Well, I've
me.
seen Bear Grylls do it.
I better change my plans for tea tonight then.
I'm pretty sure it just kill you. Maybe over a few days. I think you'd die from it.
Well, but it's a good job I don't eat shit, isn't it? Again, any more?
Nah.
Should we move on?
Yeah, let's take a break.
So, to sum up, it's great, but also a bit mad, and it's not going to work.
Yeah, don't do it. Well, do, because it'll be fun, but don't.
We'll do it because we'll be watching it.
There you go.
Yep.
Area 51.
Area 51. So, let's talk about millionaire, alleged paedophile at the moment. And he's been convicted previously.
Yeah.
And so paedophile, Jeffrey Epstein. Why has he been arrested again? So, Jeffrey Epstein, the millionaire financier, registered sex offender and acquaintance of presidents of both parties, appeared in federal court in New York on Monday on charges related to federal sex trafficking. Epstein, 66, of Palm Beach, Florida. Oh, pardon me.
You gonna start that sentence again?
Yeah.
We're so professional.
Edit that out, Mike.
No, it stayed in.
It just came out. Couldn't stop it. Let me just compose myself. Get the air of professionalism back. Epstein, 66, of Palm Beach, Florida, was being held in the Metropolitan Correctional Center in Manhattan after he was arrested Saturday in Teterboro, New Jersey, in a joint investigation by the FBI and the New York police. The arrest stems from incidents spanning 2002 to 2005. Epstein has been in the news for more than a decade since he pleaded guilty in 2008 to procuring a person under 18 for prostitution and felony solicitation of prostitution, according to his plea agreement on charges brought in Florida. And it's worth, he made a fucking deal.
Yep.
Got out of this, he made a deal.
He did. He only had to spend a few days at the prison, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
How did he get to make a deal? Has it got anything to do with him being a millionaire?
A millionaire white man. He was in his 60s. Are you saying that that's got something to do with it?
He's making a lot of wealthy people money,
Yeah.
and they didn't want that to stop.
And he's also
Hey, that's
providing them
simply-
with other things
Yeah,
that they
that's.
don't want to stop.
Yeah.
I think that's important, actually, Mike, to point out, is this man's entire existence, his entire raison d'etre, is to make the rich richer. He's an investments geezer, isn't he?
Yeah.
Like, so you give me your
Like a hedge funder.
hedge fund guy, you give me your millions, I'll turn them into more millions. That's a very valuable guy to
Yeah.
that community.
Of course it is.
So they let him work Monday to Friday,
Yeah.
and he went like to prison at the weekend.
You're saying it.
Private prison.
In
it was
Florida, wasn't it? Something
Yeah.
nice and
Yeah, he's only a registered sex offender in Florida. And that's because of a non-prosecution agreement he signed. So he did the deal and, alright, I'll go on the offenders list in Florida. But, you know...
But he
you
can
know,
fuck kids anywhere. I'm in Arkansas. Can't fuck a kid here.
Well, he's on his own island for that. We'll get to that.
Oh no.
So who is he? He went to work as an options trader for Bear Stearns Cos in... Did you say that? Company?
Yeah, Bear Stearns Company,
Yeah.
I guess.
In 1976, advising rich clients on tax strategies. So they're rich, they come to him, he gets them out of paying tax.
Yep.
Yep.
He was immensely successful. So much by 1980 he was a partner, and by 1982 he was able to break out with his company J. Epstein & Co., later called Financial Trust Co. One of his routes to success, according to a long profile in Vanity Fair in 2003, was being the primary investor and money manager for Leslie Wexner, the founder of limited brands now called L Brands Inc., the owner of such names such as Victoria's Secret, Pink and Bath and Body Works. Epstein's fortune is estimated in the hundreds of millions of dollars, parlayed his wealth and success into establishing political and social contacts around the world, amongst them President Donald Trump and former President Bill Clinton. Now, I'm going to tell you what Trumpy Boy said, Donny Baby, said in 2002 in an interview in New York magazine. I've known Jeff for 15 years, terrific guy. He's a lot of fun to be with. He even says he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them on the younger side. No doubt about it, Jeffrey enjoys his social life.
Nobody likes women more than me.
No one likes beautiful women more than me, but
No.
Jeffrey nearly likes them as much as me.
Grab him by the pussy.
Do you like him as young as Jeffrey? Yeah, I like him a lot older than Jeffrey does.
Well, does he?
Nobody likes him older than me.
No one likes them pissier than me.
Nobody.
Clinton, meanwhile, flew on one of Epstein's planes on several occasions, according to flight records reviewed by NBC News.
Is that the plane known as the Lolita Express?
That's the one.
Ah,
Yeah.
funny that.
Don't call it something really obvious if it's your pedo plane.
The one where it came out the other week in something we were reading that Clinton ditched his bodyguards at the airport
That's the one. Yeah.
to get on this plane.
No, no, we have to go with you with the Secret Service. He's like, no, you don't. Stay here.
I mean, how long has it been called the Lolita Express?
I was thinking about this, the other day. I was driving around for work and I was thinking, if little nobody me, in my van, in wherever I was, if I've heard of the fucking Lolita Express, right, on this other side of the world, like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, where this has come from.
Common
somewhere.
knowledge,
Like, yeah.
isn't it? It's
Yeah.
people know.
Yeah. People
For
on the other side
years.
of the world who've never met him.
Yeah.
Since I must have heard it through the internet. I must have done.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's mental, isn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely mental. And I know you say as a sort of sarcastic. I don't even know where the quote comes from. There's no smoke without fire.
Yeah.
That's how
That's
the
how the British legal system works.
Where's that quote from?
I think it's just one of those sort of metaphors.
One of them old sayings, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Oh, well, I know that they're
Proverbs.
saying there's no smoke without fire, but it's not necessarily true. But it is in a lot of situations. One of those things that it's not a given. It's not 100%
No, it's not.
true.
You can't prosecute someone.
Yeah, based
on,
off of it.
on hearsay.
But the reason it's become a cliche is because it so often turns out to be true.
Yeah, I mean, when we said earlier that Mike was dead in the bath,
Yeah.
if a policeman was watching that, he could have come round to check. It's no smoke without fire. When Mike turned up later on, we'd be in the clear.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, I'm saying if this rumour is spread to the point that, Billy Nobody driving his van knows about it, then there's got to be quite a lot of smoke, probably coming from a pretty raging hot forest fire.
A nuclear fire.
You see, the law doesn't apply to these people because they've got money.
Well, no, you can get off with it.
Yeah.
Just make a deal, go on the sex offenders list in Florida. You're alright. There you go. He's off. He can go and do it again.
And I did see an article about some woman, again, it might not have been from a very reputable source, but another high-up lady in Arkansas has turned out dead in old Clinton state, connected.
Right.
Apparently she has been banging on about this for years.
Right.
Because as I imagine, now this is total, what's the word, speculation. But I imagine that, sorry, we're just passing joints.
No, we're not.
I've completely lost what I was going to say. What the fuck were we on about?
If you've heard of it,
If I've heard of it, White Hot Fire, no.
smoke
Who's
that
it got?
fire.
The woman, which
Oh, the woman in Arkansas who's been killed by.
Oh yeah, that was it. Thank you very much. So, Arkansas was not only maybe a gateway. We know the Contra drugs were being smuggled through Arkansas because of it. I'm not saying it had anything to do with the guy in charge at the time, Bill Clinton. But was it also a hub for trafficking people through?
That's a possibility.
Because if he was turning a blind eye to planes full of coke, then what? He's not going to draw the line at, I'm okay with drug dealing, but sex slaves, no. I won't. That money's dirty. Oh, shut up, Bill. And take some
the
more
money.
bills. Right? So I'm just saying, that's speculation, but funny how people connected to that state and the Clintons just keep on dying. It's mental.
Clinton body count.
Oh yeah.
It's got a little bit higher.
Future F.
So what's he accused of? He
Fucking kids.
Well, yes, I shouldn't have laughed at that.
But you know what I mean? That's the way I said it. It was funny. It's okay.
Well, you ask a question.
You weren't laughing at the act.
No.
You were laughing at
We should add a little disclaimer there, actually. So that we're not laughing at the victims or anyone affected
Oh,
by this.
no.
We're a comedy podcast and we are taking the piss firmly out of Jeffrey.
Mr. Epstein and his mates.
So he came under investigation by Palm Beach Police on March 15th, 2005, according to a police case file obtained at a public records request. Investigators sought to charge Epstein and 2 assistants with crimes tied to his sexual behaviour with underage females at his home. Palm Beach investigators interviewed 5 alleged victims and 17 witnesses. The investigative files alleged Epstein brought the girls to his house under the guise they would give him massages, which police said would then turn sexual. Some of the girls told police Epstein would use sex toys on them while he got a massage. In another instance, one said she was paid to have sex with one of Epstein's female assistants, and several girls reported Epstein touched their vaginas while he masturbated.
What
Bit of a sicko.
He paid them $200 to $1,000 per massage, his residence, where he'd had several covert cameras installed in clocks, according to the investigative files. A former housekeeper told investigators that Epstein would receive 3 massages a day, while another witness said that at the direction of Epstein, he had a dozen roses sent to the local high schools for one of the girls who he said had given Epstein a massage.
How blatant can you get?
Imagine being her dad. Do you know what I mean? Like, why is this fucking 50-odd-year-old millionaire sending you fucking flowers, like, to your school? Has he got no shame, like?
Yeah.
But you couldn't exactly just go around and knock on his door and smack him.
No,
could
you
you?
just
Like,
owns me.
exactly, you're like powerless.
And the police aren't going to do anything.
Bastards.
Palm Beach police sought to have Epstein arrested and charged with 4 counts of unlawful sexual activity with a minor and lewd and lascivious molestation in spring 2006. But in May, as he was presenting probable cause affidavits for the arrest of Epstein and his 2 assistants, Palm Beach Police Chief Michael Reiter wrote to Barry Krishna, then the State Attorney for Palm Beach County, to declare, "I must renew my prior observation to you that I continue to find your office's treatment of these cases highly unusual." So they're trying to get him.
Yeah.
To say, hey, we've
Someone
got
at the top's blocking it.
someone at the top's blocking it.
That's what happens in the UK.
Well, yeah. He did eventually plead guilty in 2008 to state charges of procuring a person under 18 for prostitution and felony solicitation of prostitution. My God, that half an hour law class I took in college is paying off. I think I was asleep for some of it. He served 13 months, most of it on work release in a private ring of a county jail. So it's a private wing, work release, out all day, come into jail at the weekend. Probably sat there drinking fucking champagne in an armchair. It's really like an old boys club in there. You got leather armchairs and a telly and they're playing bridge after. Yeah. Probably got the other prisoners serving them drinks.
Well, put it this way, he's not like out in the yard pumping iron, is he?
He should be.
The communal showers.
Yeah, while some like hardcore looking geezers play a violent game of basketball.
Some white supremacists play the plank guys in basketball.
Yeah. And he's there pumping iron. No, it's like you said, he's in an air conditioned unit playing bridge, smoking a massive cigar probably, laughing his fucking ass off.
But the other blokes who've probably been accused of the same thing and are wealthy as well.
Yeah. And they get shanked for being a nonce.
Well, no shanking in that wing.
No.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
The working class nonce is shanked.
Of course. Quite rightly, some might
Well,
say.
yeah, maybe.
Well, you could say all nonces should be in a way.
Well, there you go.
Oh yeah.
This
By the
one's
way,
never gonna
this episode marks the end of our 6-month no nonce policy.
Yeah, you might want to explain that to everyone if it's their first episode. It's
Yeah.
not like it's a thing that we just can't stop ourselves from talking about.
No.
Run cold turkey on the nonsense.
We had to. It was becoming a problem.
Well, in a way it was. We were doing a lot of nonce-heavy episodes.
We were getting a bit sick of the darkness.
You know, we
dear
got
listener,
the Vatican.
and-
Our Christmas episode was Jimmy Savile. I mean,
Yeah.
it was just too much, and
So-
it got a bit too much to research. Actually, to be honest, I was.
Well, it's a good job the band's lifted because I'm going to read to you some pretty fucking dark shit later on.
Christ.
Because we can't talk about
Nonce porn.
Well, no, we're not going to be watching any of that. No, hang on. Nonce porn is porn between two nonces, isn't it? Who wants to watch that?
Someone would. Someone would.
Well, we can't talk about the global elite, powerful pedo ring without talking about some good old satanic rituals.
Alleged satanic rituals.
Nah, they're pretty fucking satanic.
Could be Mola.
Nah, it's
Could be.
Satan. It's not your modern hippie branch of fucking Satanism. This is like actual blood sacrifice, ancient religion type stuff. And it's all linked. I'm going to link it all in, thanks to the research of Saint Ike. I'm going to link all that in. The elite pedos, the satanic rituals. I'm going to link it all back to the reptilians.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, should we get back to Mr. Epstein's profile?
What are the latest charges? Nonsense.
Yeah, pretty much.
Federal prosecutors in New York allege that from at least 2002 through 2005, Epstein paid girls as young as 14 hundreds of dollars in cash for sex, either at his Manhattan townhouse or his estate in Palm Beach. Prosecutors said the acts began as massages but turned sexual, and he would pay his victims to recruit additional girls. He's been charged with 1 count of sex trafficking conspiracy and 1 count of sex trafficking, and faces up to 45 years in prison if found guilty in his private wing with his caviar and his lobster and his Chateau de Pape 1965.
How old is he now?
He's 60 something.
Did you ever see
He's
the...
got away with it for 40 years probably.
Yeah.
Stick with me on this, but did you ever see the A-Team remake movie?
Yes.
And where it shows the face man in prison.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
he's such a good con man. His prison cellar's got sunbeds and like he's got luxury dressing gowns and everything
stereo,
you could
telly.
want.
Sure, he's got a games console.
And that's what Epstein's going to be like, isn't it? Only he won't have to con it. He'll just buy it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Arsehole.
In addition, prosecutors said investigators found a vast trove of lewd photographs of young-looking women or girls during a search Saturday of his Manhattan home.
Is he married? Must be, mustn't he?
No, I doubt it. I think it would mention a wife if in that article on who is. So yeah, the thing is that the Lita Express, that private plane or series of private planes he's got. That, you know, Bill Clinton, allegedly Prince Andrew of all people, Donnie Trump, maybe allegedly, who knows? and several other elites, let's say, may have been. And the thing is, the names may not be familiar to us. Who, we know some of these guys. We tend to know the more famous. It's always the guys behind the scenes.
Exactly. We don't know the name of the most powerful leaders of the banking cabal, do we?
That's it.
We don't know those guys' names, so you're right.
No, it's the front men we know.
Yeah. The celebrity.
Yeah.
But
the politicians.
They tend to be the fall guys and the.
That's it. In this case, the people who are being linked with it are going to be the fall guys, while the guys, Vincent Rothschild, Jeremy II, or whatever, some distant offspring of them, gets away with it scot-free because he's controlling China's banks.
Of course. That's how it works. We all know that. Look at old Tommy Robinson. God bless him.
No, let's not. No.
All of his celebrity.
Got him punched in the face.
Well, he couldn't buy his way out of it, could he? He couldn't lawyer up and get out of it because he didn't have that kind of fucking money.
No,
we're not talking being wealthy. Tommy Robinson is a £500,000 house in the countryside and a Land Rover kind of wealthy.
So he's got a few mil in the bank.
Yeah,
Up
but
to
even
five,
that's not.
five.
That's not these guys.
Not hundreds of millions, billions.
People, when you're talking about people with hundreds of millions, that's when you get to this level where you're able to.
And he's making money for them. Remember?
Yeah.
This guy,
That's how
Tommy
you're
Robinson, he's not.
His 500 million that he's got in his bank. Remember, he's got a private island and townhouses everywhere and a private plane, and so that 500 million is a constant 500 million. Yeah, because once you pay all their expenses out, he's making hundreds of millions a year. That's the level they're at. But he's got the guys who are higher than that coming in. Who've got hundreds of billions, who really run the world.
That's when you can buy your freedom, or at the very least, buy yourself a cushy sentence like this. And you're not going to be treated like the common man. There's no way.
Let's face it. If any of us did this, we'd be straight in prison getting shanked.
Of course.
Yep. That'd be it. There'd be no ifs, ands, or buts.
Yep. And I thought, wasn't Prince Andrew involved with him as well?
He was a mate of his. Yeah.
Funny,
that's not come up in the articles, is it?
It did come out at the time, but immediately the royal family hushed it up and immediate ban, because anything damaging to the royal family that sneaks out in the press is obviously immediately retracted, unless it becomes too big to control. But then again, maybe they just release stuff like Area 51 storming to keep us. And me and Gaz spoke about it earlier. We think it's that is a distraction for this.
Yeah.
How much have you heard about this in the news?
Not as much as
Not a lot. Not a lot, is it?
Especially as the sorts of people that he used to act. Just Bill Clinton alone, that's enough to be like, oh fuck.
The people who own the mainstream media are mates with these.
That's it.
So they're not
going.
Yeah, so they're not going to report on it.
No. So a few articles are snuck out. But
it's the perfect system.
I'm actually surprised that this article we've got now is from The Sun. So even Rupert Murdoch's washed his hands of him. And this is obviously Rupert Murdoch's attempt to wash his hands of him and any involvement he's got there.
What's it say then? This is about his, we've alluded to it earlier, his
private Caribbean island has become the centre of sex trafficking probe against him amid claims underage girls are used as sex slaves and repeatedly abused inside a temple. The billionaire bought the island of Little St. James more than 2 decades ago, transforming it into a high-security private oasis, complete with a mansion and a bizarre blue and white gold-domed structure.
That's weird.
That's just a smoking room.
An enormous cream-coloured mansion was built on the sprawling island, and to date the island has remained Epstein's main residence but has been shrouded in mystery. Its high-security, secluded location and locally known moniker as Paedophile Island...
I mean, do you know what I mean?
It's hardly Tracy Island, is it?
40 years... we're over there, not the tourist guide, there's Pedo Island.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Coming up on your left,
if you get your binoculars out, you might see some former presidents.
I mean, fucking hell.
Oh look, there's Bill Clinton.
What? You can hear the faint tone of a saxophone drifting over the ocean.
Oh god, and a crying teenage girl.
It's fucking terrible. I mean, neighbouring islander Kevin Goodrich, who operates boat charters from nearby St Thomas, said, "Everybody called it Paedophile Island. It's our dark corner." I mean, for God's sake, why is no one sort of reporting this?
Well, they do, don't they? But it gets quashed every time.
Ugh. Years later, on the other southwest edge of the island, he built a square-shaped blue and white building resembling a religious temple topped with a gold dome. Many have speculated the child sex abuse Epstein has been accused of may have occurred in this secluded space. Workers claim the structure was a music room, fitted with a grand piano and acoustic walls, just soundproof walls, mate.
Yeah.
But Epstein, a classically trained pianist, positioned the building far away from the other structures on the island, or maybe he's not that good a pianist because he's classically trained. It's like Lister in a guitar.
I think that's where the
You want to play the piano, Epstein, you go down the temple.
The soundproof temple.
I think that's where the sacrifices are made.
Well, it's a possibility, isn't it?
Get onto that.
Yeah, a medieval style lock.
I mean, if there was a stone altar in the middle, you know what I mean?
Is it a piano in there, or is it some massive satanic church organ? All the pipes are howling demon faces and stuff like that.
I learned.
Oh, metal.
It's pretty fucking metal, to be fair.
I learned today. Do you know why? In these rituals, like back then in the Mayan times, where the blood temples and all that, obviously people knew what was going to happen to them, and the reason you wanted them to know, you wanted them to be as terrified as humanly possible, to have as much adrenaline in the blood as possible, because the adrenaline is important to maintaining your human form.
Ah.
Yeah. And it's the organ energy that the adrenaline gives off.
Adrenochrome.
That's that thing in the back of
Also
your brain,
gets
isn't
into
it?
we will discuss later on why the rich and powerful are obsessed with killing and fucking children, seemingly, allegedly. I don't know.
According to St. Ike.
Yeah. Oh well, he's not the only one. There's definitely. We've discussed this before. I don't know if it was on or off, Mike, but like, there seems to be this thing of the rich and powerful, where they like to fuck kids.
Yeah.
Now, is this because it's the last taboo and it's purely a psychological sexual thing that everything else is available to them, they've done everything it is possible to do sexually, fleetly bored of it all,
Can't get off anymore.
and it's the last taboo? Or,
Perhaps for some.
that's got to be the case in some cases,
Yeah.
and just statistically, or is there something else going on where something ancient and satanic that we don't know about and will never know about, unless you read the work of Saint Ike, David Ike.
Some
and
bloke he met down the pub as a
yeah,
witness.
he literally just quotes other people's books. But do you see what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
well,
Like,
we know these organisations exist, and we know that these people believe it.
So
But
are they
Bohemian
trying to
Grove?
attain something through this? Because he explains later on, and it is fucking dark, but he does explain in his theory why they specifically need to rape children.
Isn't there something? The third theory is that they're all in it together. There's no breaking
Yes.
ranks.
Yeah, it's
You've all
basically-
done that horrible shit together.
So you
So
can't.
if one of you can't leave
It's a
because
method
you've
of
all done
control.
it, one of you goes rogue.
Yeah.
That's it.
So it's a method of control. It's essentially like, to join this club, this exclusive, the club of all clubs. To join this club, you have to do this horrific thing. Really? Yes, do it. And then once that person's done it, you have that over them forever,
Yeah.
for life. Like you said, you cannot break ranks. If you misbehave, and the whole world knows, and will know, we'll tell them that you did this to that child.
Yeah, and I saw it. I
To
walked
join
in
this
on you in a
club.
hotel room.
Yeah.
There is an ex-Dutch banker, whistleblower, that says exactly that. He said he made money.
Scorpions.
He said he made money for the wealthy,
Mm.
and he said, and he wanted to join their club, but it was they had to kill a child.
Oh,
And he
Jesus.
said, like, that's it. He
Yeah.
broke down and couldn't do it.
Well, I suppose it's how they weed out the people with some humanity left in them from the people who are truly willing to take that leap. You know what I mean? And join the
That's
truly
that's
elite.
obviously what you've got to do to get to that circle, and it's fucking why, you know.
Well,
I mean, how much of an evil bastard do you have to be?
well, it depends.
Well, look at the world, mate.
No, I know. You're still going to try and protect yourself in your bubble, thinking no one's really. Yeah, I know all these conspiracy theories, but it ain't real, is it? And then it turns out that it is, and you think, oh fuck, well, that's burst my bubble, isn't it?
Something's going on in it.
Yeah.
Well, I'll give you a brief little bit of Mr. Ike's take
Tell us what Saint Ike has to say.
Well, speaking of reptilians, the reptilians and other demonic entities are obsessed with sex because it allows them to possess the victim and to vampire their life force. Drugged and alcoholic states also open people to possession, as does fear and deep depression. These connect the person vibrationally to the demonic dimensions, and so the Illuminati and the reptilian masters want people to take drugs and drink too much booze. Having sex with a demonically possessed person after consuming drugs or too much alcohol is like opening the front door to these guys and inviting them in. A lot of illness and death is caused by these demonic attacks, and when we talk of battling with our dark side, it is often a battle with demonic possession or influence of some kind affecting behaviour. So, the possessed paedophiles.
Right.
Understanding the nature of such possession can explain so many of the horrific events that pollute this planet. At least people are beginning, very slowly, to appreciate something of the scale of paedophilia and child abuse, although the False Memory Syndrome Foundation is trying desperately to keep the lid on. The scale is far greater than anyone can imagine, but at least it is coming more to the light. Sex with children has been part of the Illuminati modus operandi from ancient times. Sexual and satanic abuse of children are aspects of the same agenda. Sex creates an energy connection between the two parties, no matter who they are, and this allows the demonic entities in the perpetrator to take control of their victim. Trauma-based mind control also involves demonic possession by other dimensional entities. Also, these, often reptilian, beings of the lower fourth dimension want to absorb the energy of children before puberty and orgasm because the energy is still pure, and so the energy is of more use to them.
Bastards.
I'm going to skip this little bit. I'll give you the basic gist. He basically is explaining now, basically raping a child will cause so much pain and shock and anguish in the child that it sort of puts their brain into a state that will be more susceptible to psychic vampires.
Right, so they're feeding off those emotions of
it's
that
kind of,
event.
I imagine it's probably the most fear and pain you could put a human in. You probably couldn't get an adult human into that kind of fear and pain. Maybe you could.
No, but there's some kind of torture.
Yeah, so the energy vampires and mind controllers have been increasing their operations in the last few decades, and so we have had a corresponding increase in paedophilia. This is also the reason why so many of the Illuminati bloodline, like George Bush Sr., Henry Kissinger, and so many etc., have had sex with children. All over the world, the stories of paedophiles and paedophile rings are coming to public attention. And this book is from like 2001, maybe 2002, so
Yeah.
he's ahead of the curve a bit.
There's a bit.
Wasn't this Epstein's first arrest 2002? So that book was being
There
written
you go. Bang
before
on.
that, yeah.
So, I'll just, last little bit now. They're coming to public attention, but they represent a mere fraction of the abuse that actually goes on. In The Biggest Secret, which is one of his previous books, I wrote about the abuse at children's homes in North Wales, and after publication and years of fighting for justice by a handful of decent people, a government, in quotes, inquiry was forced to reveal the massive and systematic abuse of children at the homes for more than 30 years. However, as always, the big fish are protected by the system and the small fry are set up to take the consequences. This is why famous paedophiles and child abusers such as Bush, Ted Heath, UK businessman and politician Lord McAlpine are allowed to escape the law. The reptilian and other non-human species have been abducting children for thousands of years on a staggering scale. There are endless ancient legends and stories which describe or symbolise these events. Not least the Pied Piper of Hamelin.
Oh, shit! Yeah!
And it is still going on. Every year, more than 2,000 children disappear in America alone. Every day. Many end up with satanic cults or in the underground bases. No wonder they are never found. The Satanist, Aleister Crowley, emphasised why human sacrifice is important to these sick minds and why children are so often the victims. So this is the last paragraph now, and this is a quote from Mr. Crowley himself.
Mr. Crowley!
Yes! I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Resist him, no matter what this quote says. I just can't resist him.
You won't regret it in a minute.
No, I know I'm going to regret it in a minute. Well, but I can't, but I also think that although Crowley knew about it, I don't think he did that kind of shit.
No, he preferred goats.
He preferred goats. He preferred to be a power bottom.
Yeah.
He wasn't in it for the kids.
No.
He was about the power bottoming. So I don't think Crowley did this kind of shit.
Well, he says, or said, it was a theory of the ancient magicians that any living being is a storehouse of energy, varying in quantity according to the size and health of the animal, and in quality according to its mental and moral character. At the death of this animal, this energy is liberated suddenly. For the highest spiritual working, one must accordingly choose that victim which contains the greatest and purest force. A male child of perfect innocence and high intelligence is the most satisfactory and suitable victim. So, yeah.
Also, worth pointing out, Crowley, not a Satanist, an occultist. Bit of a difference. And I also think, as I do honestly think, yeah, he would know about that, but I don't think he ever did it.
So, do you think there's something to it though? Then,
you know what? It's weird, isn't it? Because there's got to be a reason for it.
because these posh old British, Mr. Epstein preferred young
There's a few
ladies.
names I've got on that previous article that will.
I just want to say that in the EU, 250,000 children reported every year. It's one child every 2 minutes.
That's never found.
See, I said that statistic earlier to my mother. You know, I was talking about this, and she's like, "What are you doing for the podcast tonight?" And I said, "I'm sure it's something like 250,000 children a year go missing worldwide."
That's in the EU.
And that's just in the EU. And so I was well
It
out.
must be like 1 million.
Yeah. Well, more than that.
Where
Worldwide.
are they
every
going?
year.
What's happening to
Yeah.
them?
No. Look, Libya. Look at Libya. It was one of the most stable North African countries out there. Now they've got sex slavery in the streets. You've literally got slave markets on the streets now. I mean, you're the Far East. I mean, Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, that kind of region, Thailand, stuff where it just goes on. It's no.
This is in the West.
Yeah, but where them kids end up somewhere.
Yeah.
Well,
And
where they might end
up.
up on stone altars in
You don't know, do you?
fucking
That's it.
creepy islands.
It seems a ridiculous number, doesn't it?
Of course, and that's just children. That's what
Yeah.
other teenagers, adults. How many people go missing that we never fucking find out about?
I've always thought it was weird. This might sound like a weird thing to say, but hear me out. I was saying, Mr. Epstein appears to be into young ladies, but like in Britain, it seems to me that like the old crusty, posh old politicians that always get caught, it's always messing with little boys, isn't
You know
it?
what that is, don't you?
Well, is
Boarding
it?
school.
Oh, or is it?
They got sodomised as kids.
I was gonna say, is it what Crowley just said, that the perfect candidate is the young male?
I think there's a boarding school element to it with
yeah.
the crustaceans
Yeah,
and the lords. Well,
probably
I was
makes more
sodomised as
sense.
a child. It didn't do me any harm. I was at boarding school. Look at me, I'm a lord. and it's just that carrying on of that. And this, you could argue that some boarding schools have probably got institutionalised sodomy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Watch a
say
program
definitely.
called The Virtues on Channel 4.
Oh right,
It's
there you
about
go.
this.
Right, so, yeah.
The Irish sort of boarding schools.
Yeah. I mean, even I
Children's
think
homes.
Richard Dawkins admitted stuff went on with him, but didn't move past sort of a groping. But this stuff happened at boarding schools, and all these people went to boarding schools, where it's just like it's all boys. You're all discovering your sexuality together. There's ritual sodomy probably. The older boys fuck the younger ones with some kind of rite of initiation.
Yeah. And it could also be...
Could be satanic sex rituals. It could be. Can't rule anything fucking out, can you?
Well, it could be both.
Could be both.
Well, speaking of elite...
Well, maybe it's become ritualised now, but it started off as that darker.
Well, there's got to be a percentage, hasn't it? I bet there is a percentage of just perverts getting their rocks off, and a percentage of people that are doing it to join,
I think it's a bit of both for all of them.
appeasing the satanic ancient. According to David, it gets very deep. Like it's all in praise of sort of sacrifice, making sacrifice to ancient gods. They've got a lot of ancient religions that could fuck all to do with Christianity and stuff.
Oh
like
yeah.
that.
There's been a lot of gods over the years.
Yeah, and
It's a shame
that's the
we
thing,
only
that's
went
the
a
thing
bit
that
down to
struck
like,
me about
you know.
reading this book today. The thing, it really struck me that like when we talk about history, we're obsessed really with the last couple of 100 years,
That's
aren't we?
it's a living memory, isn't it? Almost like our grandparents who passed it on from their parents.
He's talking
it's
about
living memory.
ancient Sumer and stuff like that, and like Mesopotamia, and like you're like, Jesus Christ, it's almost too much for your head to handle. But you got to try and remember. Like I was trying to think today, but they were people, because there was like some old carving from the year 350 BC, and it's a guy holding up 2 lions like that, like yeah, fuck you. And I was thinking like, well, even back then they were still humans. They were physiologically the same as us. So of course some dude who was the king of some place was like, yeah, do you have a picture of me
Choking 2 lions.
Fucking joke. What's more badass than that? So, but yeah, I was just saying, it's just so big and huge. But if this has been going on since then, if the very elites are the only people with the access to this ancient knowledge, and they know what the ancient rituals are, that is quite a small percentage of people, isn't it? So I don't know whether they need 250,000 children a fucking year. How much blood are they drinking? Or how many of them is there?
How much adrenochrome do they need?
Yeah, what if you only get a tiny bit from one kid?
Well, that's the possibility.
Maybe they ship them off world.
Oh shit,
Oh.
yeah.
Maybe
The Draco system.
Or they end up
To
conscripted to
work in
fight
mines.
a losing war on Mars. Randy Kramer style.
To be honest, a percentage of those children, all conspiracies aside,
Will be found.
are probably down African mines mining the minerals needed for your mobile.
I think most will be found.
joke.
Most will be
Live or dead, I mean, but
Well-
most will be found. But
Well, nothing. Yeah, that's it, isn't it? I mean, 250,000 a year. I'd argue a good 90% to be found in one way or another.
Well, you'd hope they were found.
But even so, 10% of 250,000 is 25,000.
still a lot.
Still a lot, isn't it?
Well,
But that might come as a better number when you get the 1% of the 1% of the 1% spread across the globe over a year, 25,000 just in the EU. But then of course you've got guys who are affiliated with but not them, so the head guys in East Asia, they're all in on it. And then you just got your Gary Glitters and your Savills.
well, maybe you're about to read a list of people in Epstein's address book.
Yeah,
maybe
a few of them anyway.
The thoughts just occurred to me just before you read these names. Maybe then some of these guys, maybe if you're the elites, you get people in who are just fucking perverted pedos who want to fuck kids. They do the kid fucking, and you're just feasting off the energy released, and it's sort of a win-win for all the cunts involved. So yeah, who are some of these fucking famous alleged pedos, Ben?
Well, ever since Epstein's arrest on July the 6th, there's been growing scrutiny of his vast network of rich and or famous and or powerful friends and acquaintances, or former friends and acquaintances, as it were. There's a roadmap to that network in Epstein's now infamous Black Book, filled with many bold-faced names, phone numbers and addresses from such people as Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, Ehud Barak, I'm not familiar with that name.
I think. Oh no.
Ehud, no. Alec Baldwin, Ralph Fiennes, Mick Jagger, and even Courtney
Oh,
Love.
that bitch would be in it, wouldn't she?
Well, she's always in it for the 1%.
Murderer!
Yeah, murderer. It is a mosaic of Epstein's social contacts, the investigative journalist Nick Bryant. He first got his hands on a copy of the book in 2012 after the feds caught Epstein's former house manager trying to peddle it for $50,000. At the time, Bryant was shopping a feature on Epstein without success. My Epstein article, he says, would focus on the government that's malfeasance that enabled Epstein to skate on scores of child abuse charges. Bryant wrote in a pitch he submitted to various editors. And, he continues, I would also look into covert ties the government may have had with Epstein. Moreover, the Little Black Book opens up vistas of investigation, and I would attempt to amass sufficient corroboration on some of those power broker perps who molested these girls.
Not Mick Jagger.
I know.
I can't get no adrenochrome.
That may be why the Stones are still going.
Oh my god, I can't believe I didn't make the connection.
Mick Jagger's strutting like a 20-year-old when he should be on a Zimmer frame.
I've been drinking the blood of children. Hey! Doing a dance. Go on, Mick. Fucking
And
hell.
let's face it, the last person he sired a child with, he wasn't he like 68 and she was 22, some Brazilian arse model. I mean, it's a dream. That's the dream.
Whereas if some 70-year-old bloke from the estate, he couldn't dream of getting someone up the fucking duck.
No, he couldn't.
What more spunk's different to his?
Well, shaggy 22-year-old Brazilian bikini models.
Your spunks would probably improve if you were, but... Well, he's obviously been having blood transfusions, hasn't he?
Something's been keeping him going.
Drinking the adrenochrome. You know, mixed had all kinds of the sex.
Oh,
it's possible to have.
Yeah.
Illicit, illegal, all the types.
Mixed done, I think, anything sexual that can be possibly done by humankind.
Yeah.
I mean, let's not say he's a pedo.
I bet he's had a hamster up his bum.
Probably.
That's why he dances like that. Oh, that was quite.
And of course, we've got the royal family, Prince Andrew.
Oh.
That's depressing. Royal family in there. I mean, it's.
So he's basically, this guy's a fucking pimp for underage girls.
Well, he's a high class savile, isn't he?
He's pimping out underage girls. Well, at least Epstein had the decency not to pimp out children that were in hospital beds.
Well, there is that, and the dead.
He's not a complete monster. But yeah, he's essentially pimping out underage girls, isn't he, to the rich and famous.
I mean, Donald Trump was mentioned there.
Pimping ain't easy.
Bill Clinton, you know, current president, former president.
Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, Mark Zuckerberg apparently.
Elon Musk.
Oh, not you, Elon.
And names, you know, Bill Gates, Steve Bannon.
Just for
Wouldn't
clarity,
surprise me with Steve Bannon though. In all
we should point out these are
right-wing, grape-faced prick.
These aren't necessarily people that he. These are just people that are in his address book.
In his address book, yeah.
So it doesn't necessarily mean that they've.
They're rumoured to have visited the island.
Oh Lord.
Bill Cosby.
Oh God, they weren't asleep, Bill. You got any girls that are asleep?
Alan Dershowitz, who's a famous US lawyer, is in there.
You need to put it pop. It's not very often you get to do your Bill Clinton. Bill Cosby impression. Oh man.
You know, I vaguely remember the Cosby Show. Vaguely remember it.
My favourite Cosby thing he ever did, I used to love Fat Albert. He was the voice of, remember that cartoon? Hey, 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 it's Fat Albert.
Oh, yeah.
Na, 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 gonna have a good time. Not with you, Bill.
Well, he'll have a good time.
I remember Ghost Dad. One of his films, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Ghost Dad, yeah. The thing I remember him most for, I think, is the thing I watched him most in was the Bill Cosby Mysteries.
Oh, yeah.
The daytime TV show, because I was on nights and 2 o'clock in the afternoon I'm watching telly and the Bill Cosby Mysteries shit, I got addicted at one point.
Not as addicted as Bill was.
Not as addicted as Bill was.
Right.
Yeah, so some big names. And I do genuinely think that this is... I think the Area 51 thing is they've loved it. It's got this at the media, you know?
Now, doesn't that sound like, sorry to interrupt, who's this guy Dershowitz?
He's a famous American lawyer.
So, this lawyer, does this sound like a case of me think the lady doth protest too much? Dershowitz strenuously denied ever participating in Epstein's underage sex ring and said he'd only been in Epstein's presence with his wife. I got one massage, he told me. It was from a 50-year-old Russian woman named Olga, and I kept my shorts on. I didn't even like it. I'm not a massage guy. Yeah, all right, fucking Dershowitz, fuck off. And I'm a monkey's uncle.
Yeah, you might be right there. The names will be released soon, apparently. They're talking about this week or this coming week.
Ooh. But remember, don't pay any attention to that, guys.
No.
Just keep sharing them Area 51 memes.
Yeah!
Woo! Has Brexit happened yet?
No, we've got the ongoing circus of Boris eventually becoming prime.
I'm still ignoring it.
I think that's on Tuesday.
Oh, could be.
This coming Tuesday, yeah.
I'm still ignoring it.
And all the negative stuff that's come out about him, and it's in the hands of 150,000 elderly people who think Thatcher should be sainted.
Well, I've got an article
concerns me.
about Thatcher.
Oh, yes. We got anything on Home Secretary Theresa May when she was our Home Secretary saying publicly that paedophilia ran through British society like Blackpool through Blackpool Rock.
Yeah.
And then there was that dossier that got shredded accidentally that had all the names on. Oh, we touched on Ted Heath earlier in one of the articles. He was so far into it, apparently the police were going to withdraw their protection from him. So, well, you're going to start doing that. You're going to keep doing that. No more bodyguards for you, mate.
Speaking of Mr. Heath, this is just one quick paragraph from David O.
The Heath is on.
Yeah, oh God. Yet again, Ted Heath, the former Prime Minister who took the UK into the European community, is among those named by victims who have suffered unbelievable abuse on the island. He's talking about the Isle of Wight. Heath has been named to me by so many people who were abused and tortured by him as children. I have exposed him in The Biggest Secret and this book as a shape-shifting Satanist who tortures and sacrifices children.
And a police officer came out recently and said that he should have been investigated. With the evidence there, he should have been investigated.
Though?
You got me.
How many children can I positively identify Ted Heath?
I didn't know who he was until fairly recently.
I mean, if you show me a picture of him now, well, I think I might be able to point him out, but I'll struggle with it.
Not many.
How many children are
it
8,
don't
9, 10 years old can say, "Oh yeah, the Prime Minister touched me," or the Prime Minister. I mean, I'm playing devil's advocate a little bit.
Shouldn't matter who
But
he is.
if
If
the allegations have been made, they've been made and need to be looked at.
Mm.
But you've also got to look at how many children could pick out Theresa May.
No smoke without fire.
Well, that's how the British legal system works.
Hundreds of people have told David. Hundreds.
Well, okay, well.
So,
I was just playing devil's advocate a little
Speaking
bit.
of Mr. Heath. Whoa! Sorry, I should probably... No, I'm not going to explain that noise to the listener. I'll let you try and imagine why I suddenly just went, whoa! My trousers are still on. Dirty boy.
Thank God.
Okay.
Especially on this episode. Shut up, they are.
Right.
How Thatcher's government covered up a VIP paedophile ring. A newspaper editor was handed startling evidence that Britain's top law enforcement official knew there was a VIP paedophile network in Westminster at the heart of the British government. What happened next in the summer of 1984 helps to explain how shocking allegations of rape and murder against some of the country's most powerful men went unchecked for decades.
Wow.
Less than 24 hours after starting to inquire about the dossier presented to him by a senior Labour Party politician, the editor was confronted in his office by a furious member of Parliament who threatened him and demanded the documents. He was frothing at the mouth and really shouting and spitting in my face.
Wow.
He went straight at me like a raging lion. He was ready to knock me through the wall.
Fuck.
Despite the MP's explosive intervention, Hale refused to hand over the papers which appeared to show that Leon Britton, Margaret Thatcher's Home Secretary, was fully aware of a paedophile network that included top politicians. The editor's resistance was futile. The following morning, police officers from the Counter-Terror and Intelligence Unit, known as Special Branch, burst into the newspaper office, seized the material and threatened to have Hale arrested if he ever reported what had been found.
Wow, that's a cover up and a half, isn't it? Send in the flying squad. Get them documents. Get what he's got. Get him out.
More than 30 years later, an inquiry into allegations of child sex abuse rings, murder and cover-ups has been launched by the British government after Scotland Yard detectives say they believed statements by victims who claimed they were systematically abused as young boys at sex abuse parties attended by judges, politicians, intelligence officers and staff of the royal palaces.
Oh, fucking hell. Yeah.
Oh, how lovely.
In 1983, a controversial MP, Jeffrey Dickens, had made a series of incendiary claims about active paedophiles in the corridors of power. He handed a file containing the names of alleged perpetrators to Leon Britton. Publicly, the authorities shrugged off the claims and no trial or prosecution would follow. The dossier mysteriously disappeared. Decades later, Britton claimed he'd simply handed the papers to his subordinates to investigate and had heard no more about it. Last year he was forced to clarify his statement when it emerged that he had later written to Dickens to say the initial investigation had been deemed worth pursuing by investigators. So years later, decades later, they say, you need to have looked at that.
Yeah. Why didn't you ever look at
Yeah.
it?
Oh, well, you know, my subordinate said it wasn't worth looking at. Yeah, but because you fucking got a black marker pen and fucking put your own name out of it, mate.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
So it's not just Epstein and his little crew. We've got it going on everywhere. It's in the very corridors of power.
I imagine it's in every fucking nation on the face of the earth.
Yeah.
Yep.
Every nation with a government, a top-down power-based system. I think the people at the top are up to all fucking sorts of nonsense.
Nonsense.
Hey.
Yeah. Nonsense, yeah. Well, it's fucking worrying though, isn't it?
Bit bleak, innit?
A bit bleak.
It's very bleak on many different fronts. It's bleak because it's a horrible thing to happen to these kids.
Yep.
It's bleak because the elites and the rich and powerful of this world blatantly can just get away with whatever they want, no matter they can commit. It's probably the most heinous crime. It's that and murder, isn't it? Murder and sexually abusing a child.
Yeah.
They're the two worst things. And they're
It's
having
rape,
parties.
rape as well, isn't it?
And they're
And
having
often they were both committed
At the
together.
same fucking event.
at parties. Not just at like a random one-off, like we have an actual, hey, it's an abuse a kid party, and the people attending it are
Black
judges,
robes only.
lawyers and lords, and
Yeah. In that Jersey children's home, Hope de la Garenne,
That's it.
they found all there's bones of small kids, didn't they?
Yeah, yeah. Have we got anything on that? Because them statues were fucking weird. We watched that. We watched a document. Gaz, did you watch it?
no, I didn't, mate. Sorry.
Oh, this house like 2.5 miles away from this foster home where the children had allegedly been abused and killed and buried in the cellars. You know, they had these statues of a little boy like sucking a cock,
Yeah.
Hello.
and
In
then
the garden.
in the garden, and a little statue of a girl with her turned away with her arse facing the road. And then when he'd gone there and investigated a few days, they put a wig on the little boy and made it into a girl. And the little girl statue was turned around, and it was just like, what's that about? What? He lives 2.5 miles away. So it's a massive house. It's obviously someone very wealthy lives there.
Yep.
You know, well, who's the fuck? Every time he goes past it, he's like, well, who's got that in their fucking garden?
Yeah.
What kind of sick joke is
That's
that?
a signal, isn't it, to say, yeah, we got a girl or we got a boy.
Well,
That's the thing. Is that a signal to
Could
other
be.
pedos passing?
Could be.
it probably back then in like 1960 something. It probably was that simple. It was literally like, go and stick the boy statue out. We've got a good specimen.
Sun, Sea and Satan, it's called. It's a good documentary.
Yeah, there's that weird statue of Satan stood in a lake
Yeah.
that looks like, you're like, wow, well, that's out of place. You know, lots of places have
Weird
statues like
place,
that.
Jersey, though.
You know, but
Yeah.
you're like, well, Satan's a bit weird to stick him in that lake, isn't it? And it's like very sort of a devilly Satan as well, very sort of authentic looking, goat legs and everything.
Summing up.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's wrap up our Epstein thoughts and
Well, the
feelings.
scary thing about it, as we've touched on already, is if they're doing that, and he's one of that 1% of the 1%, what the rest of them doing? Was he just a procurer? Was he just getting them? I mean, obviously he was doing it as well, but who was going?
Well,
That's it. We'll probably never know who's at the
We
top.
won't know until they're dead, unless this black book does come
Or get
out.
dementia.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Oh, that British Lord did that, didn't he?
Yeah.
Lord
Lord Britain.
Well, yeah.
Well, there was this mafia boss, I can't remember his name, quite famous. He got off on an insanity charge, and to keep up the pretense, like, because he knew he was being watched constantly under constant surveillance, he walked around in his pyjamas and a dressing gown for about 5 years. Would speak to himself in public. He actually acted mental for long enough for them to go, okay, yeah, he's mental, and let him off with it. But he wasn't mental. He was just never going to give up. He was just playing the long con. I don't know what made me think of that. Who knows? Oh, people pretending.
Yeah.
Pretending they're
But
mad. You said something. You
we're,
just...
we're voting for these fuckers. Your Trumps, your Borises, your Putty Blair, your... I don't know, Gordon Brown. Do you think Gordon Brown was in on it?
He's not high up enough.
Yeah, he
I
was
don't
Prime
think
Minister.
Prime
I just think he's that unpopular that they wouldn't have invited him. He's a bit dour and he's
Oh, he's bringing down the fucking pedo party. Fucking old Gordon. He just wants to talk about economics.
Yeah.
Fucking hell,
So good
Gordon.
Prudence all the time. Who's his Prudence?
Did you know if he used this airline, he could save 13%
Yeah.
on
Fucking
his
hell,
fuel?
Gordon.
Fuck me, Gordon! We're here for a fucking dirty sex orgy.
You wouldn't invite anyone to an orgy called Gordon,
No,
would
you
you?
wouldn't invite
Face?
Gordon. What if his glass eye popped down?
Oh yeah.
That would fucking kill
That's a
everyone.
doer, isn't it?
You know what I mean? Put a downer on your fucking orgy.
Yeah, but either way, I don't think they've invited him. Blair, definitely, I can see he was a walker on anyway. Allegedly.
Not allegedly.
No, on the pedo thing, allegedly.
He's definitely a walker.
Adrenochrome, I think Dick Cheney is definitely on the adrenochrome.
Yeah.
There's no way that bastard's been alive.
Daddy Bush.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's dead now.
Yeah.
Daddy Bush. Maybe they cut him off.
Have you ever seen the eldest Rothschild? He might be dead now, but the one who looked like
The one with the cone head.
that he shouldn't be alive anymore, just like so old, with bloodshot eyes.
You look thinking about David Rockefeller.
Yeah, that's probably
Yeah.
one. How are you keeping this fucking cunt alive?
He had about 3 hearts, didn't he?
Yeah.
Dick Cheney's on like his second.
When you've got that much money, you can just bring me another 3 pints of adrenochrome. That will involve killing 5,000 children. You realise, Mr. Rockefeller? Make it so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bring some here first.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Where do you stand on the satanic ritual element? Forget about the reptiles and the aliens.
alright.
Just keep it satanic.
I think, yeah.
Well,
you look at
there's witness accounts. It's not like we're pulling out of thin air.
No.
There's a lot of people that say it.
They are obsessed with symbolism and
It's a
ritual.
lot of it. Oh, that's it.
The elites. You know, I never realised till today, reading Mr. Ike's book, the royal crest.
Yeah,
On one side is a unicorn
yeah.
chained up.
Yeah.
On the other side's a lion. Apparently the unicorn represents humanity and the lion actually represents the reptilian bloodlines.
Right.
And then the Rockefeller crest is almost identical. Is it Rockefeller or the other one?
Rothschild, probably.
Yeah, what's that all about? A fucking chained up unicorn? It's a bit... It's weird, isn't it?
Who wants to chain up a
Why is it
unicorn?
chained?
Yeah,
Yeah, why
exactly.
chain up a magical
I
fictional...
always thought that's not right.
Well, you're Australia, it's got kangaroo and emu on it.
But I showed it to the little one and she was like, unicorn. I was like, yeah, but it's chained up. Like, you wouldn't want to chain up a unicorn, would you? Why would you? And why the fuck is there a fantastic... Of all the fucking
You're so talking to the little one now when you
Oh,
what
no,
the
no,
fuck
no,
is
no.
that fantastic
Yeah,
beast?
I was just ranting it out. Why is there a fantastical creature?
I could write!
Of all the fantastical creatures, why a fucking unicorn?
Yeah.
What the
There's
fuck's
probably a
that got to
reason,
do
I'll
with
find
kings
out.
and queens? They're fucking lame ass fucking... Like, why isn't it an orc or something? Or what are the fucking walking trees called?
Could represent our hopes and dreams as shackled
Ah.
on the system.
My God, you know, Brexit supporters are often accused of wanting a unicorn. Maybe that's that was a ploy back then.
Maybe.
Well,
foreshadowing
so,
it.
is it... Where do you stand in
I think it's
Satanism?
terrifying.
I think it's
it
satanic.
is. I think it's terrifying. I think it's. I don't know if it's satanic or just what they perceive to be Satan nowadays, or it's something older and darker and all that, and they just call it Satan now. I don't know.
I think...
But there's some. You go to the ritual and think something to it, isn't there?
I believe that they believe it.
They believe
Yeah,
it.
I
so
definitely
therefore-
think that.
I think some of the rock stars who turn out to be a bit pedo-y, I think they're in the bracket of...
Taboo.
I've literally done all the sexes. There's no more sex to have. But I think these high end, and it's like banking, hedge fund managers, and like the absolute elite of the elite, not public faces that we're ever shown.
No. I mean, there's a difference, isn't there, between like a 14-year-old groupie that pretends she's 18
Yeah.
to having an altar where you bugger boys in a ritual. I mean, there's a big difference, isn't there?
That's what I'm saying. So I do believe though that the elites, I don't think they're doing it for taboo reasons and sexual reasons, although it is obviously sexual. I think it is for potentially. There's some ritual to it. There's some ancient fucking shit. Think about the South American temples and all that blood sacrifice that went on.
Yeah.
If they're still following religions that ancient, what's to say they don't think, we've got to keep up the old traditions.
Yeah.
Slit a few throats.
See some hearts. Yeah.
I think it's fairly. I don't think it's that far fetched.
Well, I think it's terrifying that these are people in charge of us who are doing this.
It doesn't surprise me, man.
It doesn't surprise me, but I don't think it's terrifying.
Well, it's a system, isn't it? It's a pyramid.
Well, they ain't going to be
People at the
fucking
top
me anytime soon, so
Have
It's
control
all
over
them.
everybody
Exactly.
underneath.
that's what I'm saying. pretty shit. Whichever way you look at it, isn't it?
But this is the tip of the fucking iceberg, isn't it?
Yeah, of course.
And this proves Saint Ike right, in a way.
It does.
This proves all the conspiracies right, and that's why this has been suppressed.
To an extent, I mean, there's no evidence of shape-shifting reptilians.
Well, alright, okay.
Feeding off,
It's still the ritual,
Yeah.
the ritual abuse.
2001 he was talking about all that
Yeah.
ritual abuse,
Yeah.
almost 20 years ago.
Like I said, I believe that these people believe in what they're doing. Whether I believe there's an ancient sort of mystical power or something, that's... I'm not ready to believe that myself, but I believe that they believe it.
Or maybe they don't even believe it and they just believe in the tradition.
Yeah,
Do you know
could be
what I mean?
that.
Yeah.
It's just, all the thing is, every little club likes to have its rules. Look at the Masons. You know, all that bowing and scraping and jumping about on one leg and shaking hands. You got them guys in America who wear them fez hats. With the, you know, it's just every club has its little rules and traditions. Maybe this is one of their rules, one of their traditions. Oh yeah, no one really believes anymore, but this is what we do.
We've seen a lot of Freemason buildings
Yeah.
in Wales, yeah.
We did.
And then an affiliate club called the RAOB. I can't remember what it stands for now, but...
Oh bloody hell, I can't leave you in suspense.
What was it? I can't remember.
Royal... The
Forget.
old order of cunts.
Well done.
They were affiliated with the Freemasons, and we seen them in every town we went to.
Well, so it might be a Welsh chapter,
Yeah.
then, basically.
That's it. The Royal Antediluvian Order of Buffaloes.
Oh, so it's actually an American thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
The buffaloes, and they have a little men's.
No, it's the UK.
Oh, right.
The order started in 1822 and is known as buffs to the members.
So you wear a little hat with some buffalo horns on,
It's
probably.
the same sort of thing, yeah, and it's very similar to the Freemasons, like they're affiliated.
We're affiliated with the buffaloes
I
now.
bet the fucking
Hey, what-
greeting
oh, we
is
must wear a
something like
fez
you
hat
have
with
to make.
horns on it.
Nah, you have to make horns with your little fingers at the side of your head, and the other guy has to rub them and go. Or something fucking weird like that. You have to dock your horns into the other. Oh, you're a member. You know the
Yeah.
secret
Oh.
fucking bull handshake.
Yeah.
Now go fuck that little boy till he dies. Sorry, it's just what they do in these groups apparently, allegedly. Yeah.
And if they've got one in every town, you know, they own the judge.
Yeah. Police force,
Yeah.
all members.
You know what I mean?
It's the highest people in the town,
Yep.
usually the judge and the police force and all that. Yeah, it's
Hot fuzz.
exactly the greater good.
The greater good.
And remember, as I said earlier, Theresa May had that dossier of names,
Yep.
and then and she said it runs through
Got
British society, and then it got lost and shredded by accident. I mean, come on, are you fooling? Maybe your own name was on there. Who knows?
Might have been. Right then, what do we say in conclusion?
It's fucking terrifying.
Yeah, it sucks. I think that concludes the.
Yeah, emergency
week.
broadcast.
Yeah,
It's been quite a somber emergency broadcast.
it has. In conclusion, don't invade Area 51 and don't sacrifice children to the gods.
And stop looking at Area 51 storming stuff and start looking at this and bring the bastards down.
Yeah.
If 100,000 of you, if 2 million of you want to storm Area 51, then 2 million of us should be quite happy to storm this fucker's island and free the fucking kids he's got captive on there.
Yeah, do that. Storm
Do
the
that.
island.
Storm the government.
Let's all storm our governments.
Let's all storm our governments. Revolution.
Take back control.
Install me.
Viva la revolution.
Yeah, something like that. Guillotine back inside Parliament. Trust you. Trust me.
I'm just going to complete Spider-Man on the PS4. That's my aims. There are my political aims.
Oh no, I'm dictator for life.
Here he goes again.
In a glorious utopia.
Heil Ben.
No, we'll go the hiding shit. Don't like that.
Sorry, my Führer.
No, you just Ben's fine.
Mine Ben.
Just Ben's
Sorry,
fine.
mine Ben.
You haven't got to say mine either. We're not in Germany. Just Ben's fine. Supreme leader, maybe.
Du
something like
bist
that.
mein Führer.
No, supreme leader is better.
Führer.
It'll be a
It's all the
glorious
same.
utopia, trust me.
Just go for your piss.
I wasn't being recorded, it was Mike.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I need to piss. What was it?
Not ribbing me.
Not ribbing you.
Oh,
Not ribbing.
I would go clean the
Ribbing.
microphone after.
I know you went to a grammar school, you're not going to rib me.
Thank God.
Just comes as standard.
You're part
Bring
of
me
this.
back
mate.
flashbacks.
Stop trying to rip people, Mike. You don't have to.
Came out of team grammar school.
I was fagged, what can I say?
Piss break. Okay, so let's finish on some weird news and full Alex.
Let's get the boys' views on this week's weird news.
So what's first up on weird news? I saw this one. Bishop to spray holy water over city from helicopter in mass exorcism of demons.
I wonder if you don't want to be exercised.
Yeah, he's not giving these people a demon choice.
It's not.
Some people could be loving their demon life.
Yeah.
Oh well.
So,
That's typical Christianity, though, isn't
Yeah,
it?
you get say in it. You get say in it, do you?
No.
A Catholic bishop will spray holy water over an entire city from a military helicopter in an attempt to conquer the demons he believes are plaguing it. Monsignor Ruben Dario Jamilo Montoya, fucking hell, what a name, will perform the mass exorcism of the Colombian seaport of Buenaventura during the city's annual patron saints festivities.
Hang on 1 second, sorry, babe. My name is Monsieur Ruben Dario Jamilio Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
I love that film.
Not me. Sorry.
We want to go around the whole of Buenaventura from the air and pour holy water onto it to see if we can exorcise all those demons that are destroying our port, he told a Colombian radio station.
Wow.
Well, that's the bishop, ordained in 2017 by Pope Francis, added he wanted to, quote, get rid of all the wickedness that is in our streets during the helicopter flight.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Well, you'd be better off
the,
bottling that water and giving it to people, that are struggling in the heat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Buenaventura, the South American nation's biggest Pacific seaport, is notorious for drug trafficking and the violence waged by criminal gangs.
Well, here we go. Wouldn't legalising drugs stop a lot of that violence?
Yeah, or maybe improving living conditions.
And that.
Giving them some water so they're going to
Yeah.
steal it to sell drugs. Sell drugs to buy water.
Instead of pouring holy water from a helicopter.
Are you picturing him firing it from the open door like he's in Vietnam?
Yeah.
Water cannon?
If he stands still, he's a well-disciplined gangster.
I'm a goddamn sexual tyrannosaurus.
Yeah.
Well, he's
The ammo's
playing
them little like water ball things.
Yeah. Like a Nerf gun for
Yeah.
firing little water balloons.
What are they
That's
listening
awesome.
to in Apocalypse Now or whatever?
Ride
it
the
is?
Valkyries.
That's it. Isn't there one where they listen to some rock and roll though?
Oh, that film's got a great soundtrack.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. They'll have some 50s rock and roll blaring at full volume.
Yeah.
Volume.
Volume.
While he's blasting
Shooting all the
people.
drug dealers.
Yeah.
Holy water.
Painted Black definitely is in that movie, I'm sure.
I'd love it if he slipped on his robe and
If he runs, he's a drug dealer. If he stands still, he's a well-trained drug dealer.
if it bleeds, we can kill it. I thought you were supposed to be saving people. You're like, shut up! Ah, bless him.
Oh, get me in bed.
What a waste of time and fucking money and water.
Yeah, but someone could give me a chain gun for Christmas.
If
And a
somebody,
helicopter. No,
well,
nice.
I imagine somebody in the city would have a fucking surface-to-air missile.
Probably. If the criminal gang's that powerful, then they're probably
And you
someone.
ruin their barbecue,
Oh, man.
dumping holy water
So,
from the
you
air.
know, all these, it's a truce amongst the gangs.
Yeah.
A holy day, they're all around a barbecue.
Yeah.
They've all got their face tattoos and they're all mixing. All of a sudden, the water comes down, puts out the barbecue.
Yeah.
The other side accuse the other side. You got a mass gang shootout. They all kill each other.
Block war.
He will claim he's done his job.
He will.
Maybe that's his plan.
Fucking bastard.
Yeah.
Instead of renting I mean, it can't be cheap to rent a military helicopter for the day. Could it give that money
No.
to the hungry?
Yeah.
You know,
I was having this
meals.
exact same argument with the Christian group who fly a plane over various music festivals saying Jesus loves you.
Oh God.
And I'm like, well, why can't you spend that money on, giving it to the poor like Jesus would have? And he's like, oh yeah, but the money was given to us. I'm like, yeah, but you don't understand my point. You spent like 800 quid on that plane.
Doesn't matter where
You're
it
going to
came
give that to the poor.
And not one
And he came
single
back and said,
person.
that, I don't know what Jesus wanted.
What?
I'm pretty sure he's going to fly a fucking plane over a festival, mate.
Well, I could tell that guy, without having any divine powers, that not one single fucking solitary person from that music festival
Gave
left
a
the
flying
place
fuck.
and went to find Christianity
Yeah, exactly.
and Jesus. Not fucking one. I'll
The-
bet
the-
my cock on it.
It's the second year they've done it, and the first year was last year when I was there. And everybody's like, did I say Jesus loves you on that fucking plane? And everyone was taking pictures of it. But I guarantee you it made not one iota of difference because Marilyn Manson was playing at the time.
Well, is that all we've got from the bishop?
That's
Yeah.
the bish.
Don't fall out of that chopper, bish.
Please do.
Next up, chickens in tutus, this summer's hot fashion trend.
Oh, fuck off.
Photos of chickens in tutus have been paraded around the internet, and we all agree it's our new favourite thing.
I
It's not
don't.
mine. I don't agree with
This
that.
is from sadanduseless.com.
The most
Wow.
depressive humour site on the internet.
Sad and useless.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's a bit of a visual thing, but it's chickens with tutus.
I'm gonna be honest. It's a fairly pleasant image.
I think it's perverse.
Why? Are you getting a little twinge in your penis area?
I do like a
there?
bird in a tutu.
Oh, it's a Smith song, Vicar in a Tutu. Chicken
I
in a
used-
tutu.
I just think, why?
That one looks pretty
Why
cool.
not?
Because they're chickens.
It's not hurting them.
Well, they might be extremely distressed, you don't know.
Nah, they're pretty.
No,
pretty
it's
happy.
why? My stepsister does the same thing with the dog. What she,
For the listener,
she
Mike
wants
is
to dress
just
the dog
scrolling
up. I don't
through
understand it.
Picture after picture after picture of various breeds of chicken.
Animals
wearing
don't need clothes.
various tutus, and I, for one, think it's wonderful.
Animals do not need clothes.
Mate, of all the internet crazes, this one doesn't offend me. You know,
So we know Gaz is subscribing to on Twitter when he gets home.
chicken in a tutu.
Chicken in a tutu.
It's pretty cute. I don't know. Maybe I've been softened by living with three ladies, but
As Anonymous says, Ben, lighten up. It's a chicken in a tutu, not a kid in chapel.
Oh, that's right. Well, I'm also against that. No, I've got no issue with it. I just don't see why it's a thing.
because the internet, people, it has to be filled with new shit every single day. Everybody's news feed needs new things, new getting things, and it's chicken in a tutu. Just like, remember a few months ago it was throwing a piece of cheese at a baby.
No,
Remember?
I missed that one.
You must remember it, man. Your memory's terrible. I'm sure we discussed it on the show. People were literally like
Oh yeah, I think I was baffled by it back then.
flapping like a slice of cheese onto your baby's head. It started with dogs. There was something called toasting, which was like biting a hole in some toast and throwing it onto your dog's face.
Yeah.
Breading.
Just
Yeah.
internet things.
Remember the ice bucket challenge?
Well, that actually had some. They did actually cure that disease, didn't they?
No.
They took some massive steps. They
No.
raised yeah, they did.
No, because half of them were doing the wrong fucking
Do you
thing.
know that factually? Because I'm pretty sure they genuinely did.
Half of them were doing it for the wrong thing. They
Yeah,
had
but
a
that
clue they were
doesn't
doing it. They were
change
just
the fact
forced
that they
into it by
raised-
social media. I was nominated. I refused.
They.
So I'm not a sheep.
You are.
No, well,
We're
no.
all sheep.
That's the
What
point
are
where
you
I'm
doing
doing
tomorrow morning,
Facebook
Ben?
trends.
What are you doing tomorrow?
Tomorrow morning, sleeping on
You're going
nights.
to work though, aren't you? They raised over $115 million for the
Right,
ALS
so
Association.
is that disease still about then?
The association released a chart. The latest development announced by the association this week falls into the research category. It's the discovery of NEK1, which scientists say is among the most common genes that contribute to the disease and associated with 3% of all cases.
3%, eh?
The discovery is the result of global gene sequencing effort involving 2 countries and 80 researchers called Project Mini-E, all funded from the money raised through the Ice Bucket Challenge.
So it's all 3%.
Well,
eh?
it's 3% better than none.
Fuck it then, they just shouldn't ever do anything like that, should
Nope.
they? Because Ben doesn't like it.
Yep.
Right, fuck it.
Pretty much.
Fuck them. Fuck
Pretty
all
much,
the diseased
yep.
people.
The cure's in time.
So, yeah.
Next
fair
to
enough.
Holland's working on it, that's fine.
I don't know what you want me to say. I literally don't know what you want me to say. You carry on. I'm just giving you the rope. You carry on.
That's the point.
You're entitled to your opinion.
Yeah, there we go.
This one, then, they're not trying to raise money for anything. It's just a bit of. Now, this is a strange word you're not going to be used to. It's called a bit of fun. Just a bit of frivolous fun. That happy people, happy frivolous people, they like to do happy frivolous things.
It's manufactured fun.
Oh, God.
Someone did it once and everyone's jumping.
Look at the fucking places in the background of these pictures, right? These are people with big, nice gardens and chickens and the time to put tutus on their chickens.
Exactly.
Photograph them and upload
I've got the
them.
time to put a
They're
tutu on a
happy
chicken.
people, which is why you hate the tutu chickens. I find them quite aesthetically pleasing.
If you were
In the world of darkness, a chicken in a rainbow-coloured
with you
tutu,
guys.
it's not hurting anyone.
Oh,
It might hurt the chicken.
I think it's bollocks.
But, you know.
What's the next one? I'm done with this.
Oh, guess what? I'm tagging you in later. Okay, so
Great headline.
what did I say for the last news? And finally, hundreds of blindfolded goats are being airdropped onto a mountain range.
How'd you do?
Is this a game of Worms 3D? For the second straight summer, mountain goats are flying in the Olympic National Park. Officials this week began rounding up the sure-footed but non-native mammals from remote parts of the park where humans introduced them in the 1920s to relocate them to the Cascade Mountains where they do belong.
Do they put the blindfolds on so they don't know where they've been going?
Going somewhere, we don't know where.
So they can't find their way back.
Fucking hell, this animal capture specialist called gunners and muggers. So we got plenty of fucking animal capture specialists in this town. Jesus Christ. They sedate the animals with darts or capture them in nets, blindfold them, pad their horns, fucking hell, how much effort, and then fly them on slings dangling from a helicopter.
To a staging area. That's dated. I think it's dead weight.
Okay. To a staging area. They're looked over by veterinarians and outfitted with tracking collars before being trucked into the Cascades and once again flown by helicopter, this time to their new alpine habitats. The relocations began last year following a years-long stretch of planning and public comment, with 115 of the roughly 725 mountain goats in the Olympics being moved to the Cascades. Officials captured 17 Monday and Tuesday at the start of a 2-week goat relocation period, including a kid about 6 weeks old, which got a ride on a mugger's lap inside the helicopter instead of hanging beneath it. Well, the Olympics have a few natural salt licks that makes it more likely goats there will be attracted to the...
Oh, lovely.
I just didn't expect that. It makes it more likely the goats there will be attracted to the sweat, urine and food of hikers, potentially endangering the hikers. One goat fatally gored a hiker in 2010.
Oh,
Wow. Not for his family though, is it? What happened to Gary? He was gored by it.
I could smell his
rhino,
piss.
a rhino, a hippopotamus, goat.
I was attracted by his piss.
Oh, Gary, why couldn't you just hold it in?
Well, that's why that guy got bored by that mountain lion there to fight off a few months ago.
Yeah.
Well, I am an animal lover, but I got to be honest, that sounds a fuckload of ball ache to me to move a fucking handful of goats. Wouldn't it be easier to load a few shotguns? I mean, are they endangered? I'm just saying.
Well, they will be
I'm
after
just
you
saying.
finish with them.
That's why I usually run them over in a van. That'll be easier for you.
I'll
isn't
start the goat problem. See Gaz
Try goring this, you little cunt.
up the mountain.
It's got a fucking dozer blade fitted to a transit. Reinforced windscreen, steel cage over. Just blast it. There's a bloke on top of the van playing the guitar with amps behind him.
Twin flamethrowers on the side.
Exactly. Playing
Yeah,
metal.
but it's not that metal, is it? This is me we're talking about. Something would go wrong and the guitarist will be like, Ding 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 ding. Fucking, you play any Black Sabbath? I know old McDonald. Fucking hell.
Play War Pigs, you fucker.
That's some George Formby. When I'm clicking in windows.
We're massacring goats, man. With me little stick of black pill wrap. Fucking hell.
Well,
I'm
then
plugging
Mad
in.
Max in it and transit and killing goats.
I'll just slam on the brakes and send him fucking into the goats. And...
No, he's a bungee cord, isn't he?
Oh yeah.
He's gonna come back.
No,
Well, his carcass, man.
Get out and shoot him.
You need a better guitarist.
I just want to take him. I'll just turn the
Man, just
stereo
piss
up.
over the plan, why don't you?
Fuck these goats. Anyway, I think that concludes the news. I am joking, I'm an animal lover. Don't shoot the goats. Move them on a helicopter that probably costs hundreds of thousands of pounds. That's fine. It could have been used on feeding human children. It's fine. Move the goats.
At least let cats do it in the transit. Cheaper.
I'll do it for
How many goats can you fit in the back of that, do you reckon?
Dead?
No, live.
Oh.
Dozen?
Yeah, maybe 12, possibly 15.
Ooh.
Dead, you can quadruple that.
Well, I was just thinking that you could move them somewhere, being an animal lover.
Stack them high,
Alive.
sell them cheap.
Alive.
It's not equipped for live cattle moving though. It doesn't have air holes and anywhere for
Well, you
the
stole
piss to
some,
go.
didn't you?
I drill a hole for the piss to drain out the back.
Yeah, I would, because it would stink otherwise.
Yeah.
Well, they'll drown in their
You
own
may
piss.
you may want to drill some holes in the floor.
This is why I'm not in charge of animal management.
And a good thing it is.
Alright, just to run them down.
Shall we move on?
So let's end the show on some full Alex. So basically the premise of the show is that Mike finds a couple of random weirdos on the internet and then he pits them against the arch saint of insanity himself, Alex Jones. And remember, it's okay to go a little bit Alex, a quarter Alex, half Alex, 3/4 Alex on a train.
Well,
Would never go full Alex. Ever.
Nope.
Were you trying to get crazy with this, eh? Don't you know I'm loco?
And, you know, it can go on a lot of things, this show. It's all about our personal choices. You got bigotry, you've got insanity, you've got ranting, you've got everything. It's our favourite game show. Alright, Mike, what we got? Who's first?
Up first, the alien contactee. He says that the Anunnaki reptilian Prince Marduk
Right.
sends a message of insults to the Palladian king Plachacha.
Wow.
He has said some disgusting things towards the Palladians. This is a must watch.
Wow. Well, okay.
To the video. So, just a couple days ago, Marduk was being interviewed by one of their news people down in Nibiru TV is the name of the program, and he was asked about the king, Palladian alien King Plachacha IV, and if he's worried about him. And Marduk sits there and he starts laughing. Ha 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 ha. He says the king is a doofus.
Right.
He went on to call the king a twat. That's right, he called him a doofus and he called him a twat. He said that he is weak. He says that he is the weakest king that he's ever seen come out of the Pleiades. And he says come the reptilian apocalypse, we know it's the Palladian apocalypse, but he says come the reptilian apocalypse, that him and Enki are not worried at all. They said they will be victorious. He says the Palladians are weak. He says they're the pussies of the galaxy. That's what he said. And that they're not worried at all. And he says for all he cares, the king can go to Scumbag Valley because he's a weakling.
God, he's so stoned.
This makes me so mad. I'm telling you, I am so upset by these comments. Telling the king to go to Scumbag Valley. Do you guys even know what Scumbag Valley is?
No, tell us.
Scumbag Valley is the main valley of Nibiru, if you ask me. I know Enki will say otherwise, but all you guys are scumbags, and you're trying to say the king is a scumbag, a doofus, a twat? You think I'm gonna put up with this? I've had enough. I've had enough of your attitude, Murdoch. You dirty little reptilian lizard, you. Well, I shouldn't say little, you're friggin' massive. But you think you're gonna defeat the king. Look at you. I friggin' knocked you out when we had our match. That's how weak you are. You're weak. Inky's weak. The Anunnaki is weak. Well, I don't know if I should say the Anunnaki are weak, because I know you guys are a brutal force to be reckoned with. But you, Marduk, you're weak, okay? You want to talk like that to the king? You want to disrespect the king like that? You're crossing the line, and that's it. I think I'm going to have to come slay you right now. Because I know I've been granted the privilege that I get to slay Marduk come the Palladian Apocalypse. But I don't think I could wait. I don't think I could wait, my friends. I think I got to do it right now. I think I got to call the king. And I think I got to get a ship up to Nibiru. And I don't care what happens. I'll walk on Nibiru. I'll come on your home territory. I don't care how many lizards are there. I'm the reptilian slayer after all. And I will come and I will slay you. I will. I don't care. I'm not afraid. You think I'm afraid of you? This is going to happen, damn it. I'm going to call the king and I'm going to get down to the bottom of this. Because you cannot disrespect the king. Hold on.
Oh,
Getting a
God.
message. Message from the king. Yes, king. Understood. My apologies. Okay, will do. Okay. I just had a telepathic communication there. So the king told me to calm down. He said that he will not be sending me on a ship to Nibiru to deal with Marduk. He says it has to wait until the Palladian Apocalypse. But he said he will release an official statement come Alien Sunday.
Okay.
Wow. Wow.
I
good in this week.
I normally like that guy, but
He's trying to do too much now.
he's pushed it too far for me this week. The
Yeah.
whole, hang on, I'm getting a communication. Okay, understood. Like,
Yeah.
And he's a reptilian slayer.
the reptilians.
He's been told he's going to kill the reptilian King Marduk.
Prince.
Prince Marduk, whatever, well, fucking whatever. The guy's in charge.
King Inky. And obviously Prince Marduk must be
Oh,
his...
right, gotcha.
must
It's
be his
Inky,
son.
yeah, okay, alright. Well, either way, he's full of shit.
Wow.
I mean, you know I'm a slut for aliens, but fucking hell, this is taking it too far.
Fucking hell. We need an alien contact. We need a human contactee on Earth who can channel our telepathic messages. It's this fucking stoner kid
He's fucking battered.
who's really into aliens. Who's got a shirt and a hat and everything.
I like his shirt, though. I'd own that shirt.
Fuck me, that boy needs therapy. He said nothing is stronger than the king. I think the only thing stronger than the king is the strain of weed that he's been smoking.
He's got some fucking...
Yeah, I fucking want some.
Can we message you on YouTube and ask what he's smoking, and can we have some? Because
We have to get him.
This
we have
guy
to
could
get
be
an
our first
interview.
interview.
Yeah.
yeah,
We have to get an interview.
yeah. I'll tell you what, we'll he can toke on his, we'll toke on ours for 2 hours, we'll fucking interview him. We'll all be on the same level. Well, here we are, I don't know, it's obviously...
He's got 19,000 subscribers.
Fucking hell.
Jesus. Well, let's ask him anyway. Can we message you?
Oh man. Well, yeah, a
I-
strong start.
The thing is, he always go. I love that the one he won on his debut where the Inky made Donald Trump eat a can of sardines.
Yeah, that was some
while they were
funny
just
shit.
enjoying a nice fish dinner.
Yeah,
That was his. I love that.
that was some funny shit.
Yeah.
He's got a bit far with this week, but
He has, but he's still a strong contender.
yeah, well,
He's got a bit of a wrestling sort of theme going on, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Where he talks to the camera and he's dissing the other person.
yeah, it's like in wrestling they call that cutting a promo.
Oh, is that what it's called?
Yeah,
So you
wait,
think he's just
so it's cutting a promo on Marduk. Marduk, when I see you next Thursday night, live on SmackDown.
It's told I can slay you, Murdoch, and I will. 1, 2, 3.
Pose for the camera. Oh man, yeah. So, who's next?
Next is a Trump supporter having a meltdown.
Snowflake.
Never. That's never happening, is it?
It's not snowflakes when they melt down. Though. Is it funny that?
No matter where I go, Trump supporters are always around me. I'm some sort of magnet, so I gotta go talk to them. I might as well. I want to ask them what they think socialism is. Do they have any idea? I'm quite curious. Do you think Joe Biden is a socialist?
Yes.
How would you define socialism?
I define socialism when you bring down your own country, your own race, because he's not black.
He's Mexican.
Bringing him down to black people, is that what you're saying?
No. He's saying that the white people, he doesn't look at himself in the mirror.
So he...
That's what I look at.
She's clearly
You
Mexican.
talk about the white people, and look at you.
Oh, he actually...
You know I don't like him? I'll tell you exactly why I don't like him. He's got a big ego. He thinks he's better than God.
Trump said he could shoot someone in the middle of Fifth Avenue and get away with it.
No, I don't think so.
He did say that.
No, he didn't.
It's on tape.
No, I don't believe it. No, that's fake.
I swear to God, you can watch it.
News, fake news,
Oh God.
fake news.
Okay, do you want to watch the video?
They say, I have the most loyal people. Did you ever see that? Where I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters, okay? It's like incredible.
Any of the Democrats, do any of them appeal to you?
Liars. All liars. The Pinocchio keeps growing.
Okay.
And then you yourself won't have a country. You yourself won't have a country. Keep believing all these liars and you yourself will be out of your country. Socialism doesn't work wherever it goes.
Why is Joe Biden a socialist?
Why is Joe Biden a socialist? Because it's all about the money. I mean,
But socialism is about...
the thing is that Joe Biden is all about the money. It's all about the power, the money.
What Trump isn't, for God's sake.
Trump's a billionaire.
Is Joe Biden
Yes,
telling
and
the
so is
truth?
Joe Biden. Yes.
Trump went bankrupt 4 times.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. And that's business.
He did.
How many people? Okay, you go bankrupt. How many people don't start all over again after a bankruptcy?
Well, he's not a great businessman if he went bankrupt 4 times.
Yes, he is. Great businessman. What do you think? Where all those jobs come from?
Not from him.
Yes, from him.
It's been documented that he's hired undocumented immigrants.
Fake. Hey, use your head. It's fake. Everything that they're feeding you as a white woman that you are is fake. Is fake. But when if communism comes here, you will know it.
I don't know what me being white has to do with it. I don't know what me being white has to do with it.
Yeah, you being white because you haven't experienced anything that's been bad. That's what I'm saying. You have not experienced anything in your life that is bad. Okay? Or anything. You're white and you haven't experienced it.
Thank you so much.
Well, she's a strong contender.
I mean,
She's just thick, though,
Yeah.
isn't she?
well,
Brainwashed.
Yeah.
yep.
Brainwashed and thick.
I mean, she's I thought she was Mexican. Turns out she is white. Her accent's a bit weird, though, isn't it?
She's Mexican, isn't she?
She sounded pretty.
She sounded Mexican.
Cuban.
Cuban, maybe. Okay. Hispanic. Let's say Hispanic. So she's so pro-Trump, but does she not think that when he actually gets his full powers that he would love, where he hasn't got to have a Congress or a Senate, he wouldn't deport her immediately?
Yeah, I know, yeah. Idiot.
And that's what I don't get.
Brainwashed.
And I've seen this on.
And of course,
on
anything
Facebook
that
and
they
Twitter.
see that contravenes their belief, fake news.
Didn't
Fake
happen.
news.
Didn't happen. Yeah. He hasn't gone bankrupt 4 times.
I mean, she tried to deny the 4 bankruptcies, and in the end, she did accept it, but she still accepted it that he was a good businessman.
Yeah.
It's like have to do mental gymnastics to stick with their beliefs. It don't make any sense.
It's still incredible though.
Yeah. It's the power of brainwashing,
Let's
mate.
face it, the Nazis couldn't have wished about it,
Oh.
could they?
Exactly.
There's only North Korea who are probably fucking higher
It's like
than that on that level.
It's like a Jew in 1941
Defend the
defending
Nazis.
Hitler. You know what I mean?
Do you remember there was that? Oh man, do you watch? You watched Religulous with Bill Maher? Gaz, you seen it?
Possibly.
There's a Jewish rabbi on there who's one of this very small group of rabbis who are like the Friends of Israel Iran, and like they go over there and they talk and they denounce the Holocaust.
Oh.
These rabbis stand there in front of this Iranian audience and say the Holocaust never happened, and basically just run their own religion down to make the Iranians feel better. And Bill Maher interviewed him. I think he lasted 2 seconds, or not 2 seconds. He lasted a couple of minutes. He's like, and this rabbi's just like, "Can I get a word in? The Holocaust didn't happen." And Bill Maher starts to say, "Why? No. Can I get a word in? Let me talk. Let me finish." And all he did was fill that. And Bill Maher walks away and says, "You know what? Never again, Rabbi. Never again." Obviously, 2 meanings to that. But still, it's just you can't knock that level of brainwashing in people. You can't. I mean, that's incredible. And she's one of the people who'd be deported if he had his way.
Yep.
Well, fuck her. Who's next?
Who we got? Alex Jones.
Yep.
Starts a cult.
Yep.
Oh look, Gaz, he should start a cult too.
Hey, he's already got one, mate.
That's true.
One that generates millions of dollars, or it used to generate millions of dollars.
There he is, bare chested on a horse.
What a man.
Yep.
What a
Gaz,
fucking...
your cult won't take off until you start posing topless on a horse.
Hey, Putin,
Putin does it.
Alex Jones, if it's good enough for them, it's good enough for me. Now there's 2 fucking... That's not toxic masculinity, that's 2 specimens of, you know...
red-blooded.
Glorious red-blooded masculinity.
So are you going to pose topless on a horse or not?
Nah, I fucking hate horses. I'm scared of them. Don't like them.
What would you pose topless on? I'm
got
doing a
topless.
bougie.
Pony.
A donkey.
A donkey.
We need
Give
to
me a donkey.
Because
Yeah.
at this rate, Gaz, I'm sorry, mate. We're coming to 2 years now, and you're on around with that 12 quid.
Well, nah. I'm going to do it.
Because your court ain't taken off. You owe me that 12 quid.
It's got 1 follower.
Yeah, we said there'd be like 5 or 6 by this point.
Didn't we give it 5 years or something?
I don't know, I'm not sure.
Alright then, I'll give you 12 quid.
Fantastic.
The fucking giant credit corporations can't get 12 quid out of me. You fucking think you're going to? Fucking hell. You ain't got enough fucking ink in your pen to get 12 quid out of me. Barclay card ring me 3 times a fucking day. Cancel.
You block as well.
No, I don't block though. I like to actively let it ring a couple of times and go, no. Back to our Lord and
I still
Saviour.
think. I'll tell you what, I'll help you. I'll get a photographer and you can pose topless on top of a donkey and try to start your cult that way.
Okay, you pay for the donkey and the photographer?
I'm sure I can. I know a photographer. I can.
So you can rustle up a donkey.
She can probably arrange a donkey.
I think I can pull it off.
We'll use that to boost your cult.
Pretty
If that doesn't
convinced.
work, give me the money.
You know, it might be quite
How's
hot,
that?
you know, with my luscious locks flowing as I graciously hobble along.
On a mule.
Topless on a mule. Oh, fucking... Steady on. Oh, he's going down a steep incline. No, I don't like
Well, I
horses.
tell you what.
I saw a horse kick a friend of mine when I was about 10, and it was one of the most violent things I've ever seen in my life. Fucking
Jeez.
deserved it because he was standing behind a horse, like, but I'll never forget the fucking sound it made.
Did it break his jaw?
No, kicked him in the stomach.
Oh.
An ambulance came.
Wow.
Yeah. So I've always been a bit weary of him. You won't get me on one. Ever.
It's going to be what then?
Much to.
Is it going to be
a donkey? I'll get on a donkey.
Alright, okay.
I reckon I could have a donkey.
I'll do that for you. I'll arrange that for you. It'll cost me less than 12 quid. I'll make a profit.
I'll ride a deer, a cow, sheep, anything, farmyard animals, pigs. I'll sit on a pig.
What about my dog?
Sit on a pig.
What about my dog? He's quite big.
Stick the muzzle on him, I'll sit on him.
Yeah, you get a muzzle, he's fine.
Mate, sit
He's already
on
got a
dog
saddle.
without a muzzle.
Yeah, but the tactical harness, Mike.
Saddle.
Tactical harness.
The thing that you don't know, Mike, is he's also got a sex harness.
Yeah, but that's not for the dog.
I'm sorry, Ben. I'm sorry.
That's not for the dog.
I'm sorry, Max.
So I played the video.
Fucking play the video.
I'm setting up a cult. There are million slaves, and then a man runs it. A lot of people want to be in a cult-type situation. Lure women into dungeons and enslave them for men. Sex cults.
Well, I'm with you so far.
People work out and also have a sex cult angle to them. And where everybody's shaman and, take drugs to open up their consciousness and rallies at night in the porches and everyone marching in formation. The women get enlightened by having sex with the guru. Yours truly, Alex Jones. There are millions and millions of missing people every year in every major country, and they say, oh, they're runaways, or they changed their identity. Yeah, maybe 60% or so, it turns out. But the tens of millions that never get found, folks, go into acid baths. There's a lot of other groups that kind of mimic it, but they don't do the killing part. I am enlightened. I know what's going on. Join with the great oneness of the universe. It's God and you're God and everything, and feel all this, feel the timelessness, feel all everything else. That's you, that's me. I'm a God ruling over you. So that's all coming up today.
Let's just run through them again. We got the first guy's alien contactee. The second guy
was a jump lady.
Oh, I think she might have it. For me, for Alex, that's bread and butter for him. He's a cool leader. He's just got to pretend to be himself for a bit.
I think she's misguided and poorly educated. So I can't give it to her. I'm battling between Alex and the alien contactee.
He went.
For me, it's the alien contactee.
Yeah,
I think he was playing to his crowd there.
What does it matter? He's still batshit insane.
Yeah, to look down the camera with a straight face and pretend you're getting a communication from the alien fucking king
Is it
god.
forced? So yeah, it's a mobile phone conversation. Yeah,
it was very quick as well.
Yeah, all right, I won't. Okay, all right, bye. It's like a shit mobile phone conversation on the bus.
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm talking to a fucking king. He didn't even call him Your Highness.
Yeah,
he didn't, did he?
No.
He's got it this week.
So that for me, he's a liar. There you go. Not the other stuff, just that conversation.
He's a liar.
He's a liar and a charlatan. And
you're going to duel him?
And I will. I challenge you to a duel, sir.
You've offended me.
See who the biggest slut for aliens is. So I'm going Trump woman. I'm going for her. Just for the whole stubborn refusal to look back to the face. That's what I'm going with it for.
Yeah. No, I got to go with the alien contactee this week. Yeah. I hope he's playing a character and he's in on the joke, because if he really believes all this, somebody needs to help him. Somebody needs to contact an adult close to that young man.
Somebody to stop giving him weed.
That would be a good thing as well, yeah.
Stop selling him weed.
Yeah. Oh, imagine
It'd be fucked up though, wouldn't it?
And I never thought I'd hear myself say that before.
It would be fucked up if it was real and not fake.
I know, yeah. And we're the clowns because we're laughing at him. And he tried warning us.
Yeah.
Don't respect the king! No, sorry, disrespect the king. But
and then we're lying there under the rubble caused by the Anunnaki attack, and he departs and is Pelagian UFO and waves at us. And we're lying there, half dead, crusted of rubble. Wouldn't that be
And
tragic?
he's dueling Prince Marduk.
on top of a flying saucer with a lightsaber. Oh wow!
And we just know that we're slaves to the gold mines.
That's it.
Down the gold mines.
Oh, shit.
Wow! I wish I'd listened to him. You know what? Fuck it, it's him.
Hey!
After that,
Clean sweep.
It's not his first clean sweep either, is it? I don't think.
This guy's a contender.
He's good, isn't he?
Yeah, man. Right.
After that tangent, yeah, would it for me?
Let's wrap this bad boy up.
So yeah, thanks for listening. I've been Ben. I'm going to say don't drink the Flavour Aid and don't join a cult or Gaz's.
You can
or Trumps.
You can join mine if you want.
Don't I want to bet?
Just Google the Church of Insignificance. And while you're on Google, look for Sewage Pipe Gaming on YouTube. Subscribe to that. Subscribe to Solar Water Music on YouTube. And what's the show one on YouTube?
Apocalypse Ball.
Apocalypse Ball on YouTube. Subscribe
And
to all
Twitter.
3 of those, and that'll be awesome. And on Twitter. And Free Biff Tannen.
Just
And
belch then.
thanks for listening. Yeah. But I did it quietly and certainly not in the middle of a fucking word, Ben. That's the key.
From Dawn, I can't help it.
I didn't go, goodbye. I went slowly under my breath, then say goodbye, and nobody would have been any of the fucking wiser if you hadn't said anything. And it's now taken me 3 times as long to say goodbye as it should have done. Free Biff Tannen, good night.
I've been Mike, thanks for listening. Peace out. May the force be with you.
Great stuff.